The Tigers are the first to 40 wins, that is. Yesterday, Pudge Rodriguez helped power the Tigers to a series win in Toronto, and Detroit still has the best record in baseball. Now, tonight it's back home for a quick 4-game series against the dangerous Johnny Gomes and Carl Crawford and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Game 1 is next on FSN Detroit. Well, Marcus Thames has done his part in helping carry the Tigers offense in the last 2 weeks. In his last 11 games, Thames has clubbed 4 home runs. He has 9 RBIs. And what a season it has been for the Tigers left fielder. He is in there again tonight as we bring you inside Comerica Park. Welcome to Game 1 between the visiting Tampa Bay Devil Rays and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us for the ball game tonight. It was a pretty good road trip when you consider the Tigers won 2 out of 3 in Toronto. They gained the split, but the key yesterday, Rod, Pudge Rodriguez, what a day he had.
Well, Mario, he's just a game changer. We watched in that series in Chicago where he basically changed the game with his base running. I mean, he's an outstanding player, of course, behind the plate. No one likes to run on him. And in yesterday's game, he drove in 5 runs, and the Tigers really needed an effort out of Pudge Rodriguez in yesterday's game. He splits the seam in left center field and clears the bases here. Infante, the last one to score on that particular play. And then in an epic 10-pitch at-bat, he flips one to left field and gets enough to find the seat. So Pudge Rodriguez is one of those guys that's a bona fide star that I enjoy watching every single day.
Well, how about these numbers career against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays? This ought to be a pretty good omen for Pudge Rodriguez. .381 lifetime with 18 home runs in his last 7 games. He's hitting .333 against Tampa Bay pitching, so it should be a good series. Hopefully it will for Pudge Rodriguez. Now, how about this pitching matchup tonight? You've got Verlander, who throws 100 miles an hour. You got the lefty Kazmir. You pay to see these.
Well, something's got to give. I mean, you got a couple of guys that have tremendous composure. Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach of the Tigers, was also the pitching coach of Kazmir, said he's not afraid. We know Verlander's not afraid. Verlander's got an outstanding pickoff move. They've got base runners on their side. This should be fun. Couple of guys that throw hard. The one that makes the fewest amount of mistakes is the one that's going to have a chance to win this game.
All right, glad to have you with us tonight. Game 1 in this series, and coming up in this one, Brandon Inge back in there. He's carrying 13 home runs in the 9 spot tonight. It's the Tigers and Devil Rays, and it's all coming up next. A cloudy night here at the ballpark tonight, but pleasant temperatures. We have the good weather for baseball tonight. Justin Verlander and the Detroit Tigers hosting the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Our first look at the Devil Rays this season. And we want to remind you tonight that in tonight's ball game, we are participating in the Home Run Challenge, where every home run raises $18,000 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by calling 800-798-CURE or log on to prostatecancerfoundation.org, and you'll have the ability to help out as well. There's Joe Madden, the first-year manager of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and here is his lineup tonight. Check out the starting 9 for the Rays. It looks like this. Julio Lugo leads off. He'll play shortstop. The exciting Carl Crawford is batting second and playing in left field. He's been red hot. Jorge Cantu is playing second base, followed by Johnny Gomes, Aubrey Huff, and Ty Wigginton. Their bottom 3 is Greg Norton, Toby Hall, and Damon Hollins. And tonight's scouting report is on Tigers rookie right-hander Justin Verlander.
Well, of course, Verlander has the overpowering fastball. He pitches in the mid-90s, but he can get up to 99. He can even touch 100. If he chooses to dial up that high. But one thing he must do, according to Chuck Hernandez, is get himself in better pitching counts. He's fallen behind. As a result, he's given up 10 earned runs in his last 2 starts, and he needs to be careful in the very 3rd inning. His earned run average is elevated in that inning, and he struggles there.
So Verlander getting set to make his start, and defensively behind Justin tonight. We'll check it out. It's brought to you by Chrysler Jeep. Placido Polanco is out there at second base, 3rd among American League second basemen in double plays this year. Chris Shelton will open up at first. They have Infante and Inge on the left side. The outfield has Thames, Granderson, and Ordonez. And the battery tonight is Verlander and, of course, Pudge Rodriguez. Here are the season numbers on Mr. Verlander.
Well, outstanding numbers for a guy spending his first major league in his first major league tour of duty. 22 walks in 78 innings. Not bad. 47 strikeouts. This is his 13th start of the year with 1 complete game.
Well, a nice cool evening here at the ballpark. And the Tigers hopeful of doing some pretty good damage here on this short 4-game homestand. They'll play 4 here against the Rays, and they're back on the road again. But it's 66 degrees at game time, so not typical of what it usually is this time of the year, but good baseball weather nonetheless. Julio Lugo is set to step in now for the Devil Rays. Tampa Bay at 26-37. They find themselves in 5th place in the American League East. Lugo batting at .250 to start things off. He's been very good lifetime against the Tigers. And the Devil Rays shortstop gets the go-ahead. We're ready for baseball tonight. Justin Verlander is set to go to work, looking for his 8th win of the season. Here's the first pitch of the ball game tonight. It's down the middle, of strike 0-1 on Julio Lugo. Verlander, as you know by now, likes to work quickly, gets the baseball and heaves it home. He misses with a breaking ball there. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's been an outstanding rookie year for Justin. Made a couple of starts in the big leagues last year, and he came to spring training ready to go and won that 5 slot in the rotation. Swing and a miss, off speed, and Lugo is out in front.
Couple of different breaking balls. He throws the knuckle curve, but on the previous pitch, I mean, it acted like a slider almost, a little tighter spin. That one was more your typical knuckle curve from Justin.
Comes another breaking ball, and he bounces this one in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Apparently that's the way that they want to get Lugo out, because I can't remember on any other occasion this year where he threw 3 consecutive breaking balls to the leadoff hitter to start off a game. He's usually, here it is, hit it.
There it is, and it just missed up high. 98 on the gun, and the count fills now at 3-2. That was awfully close.
Well, he thought he had strike 3 as well, and Lugo just ducked under it. Home plate umpire Tony Randazzo allowed him to duck under it.
There is ball 4 inside and high, so Verlander threw a nice pitch on 2-2, and he ends up losing him.
One thing Verlander can't do is lose his composure, even though he thought he had the 2-2 strike. Don't show too much emotion out there, or Tony Randazzo may make it a very tough evening for you.
So typically what you're saying is when a hitter is up there, if he crouches down as the pitch approaches, his strike zone should be where he started, correct?
That's what I'm thinking. Judging by that replay, I mean, he had plenty of height on the pitch, but Lugo just crouched down, and I think he may have fooled Tony Randazzo.
Well, here is Carl Crawford now with the leadoff man on. Lugo is a threat to run, as are many of these Devil Rays. He has 8 stolen bases.
Verlander may be able to negate that, though. He's got the quickest move for any right-hander I've seen in a long time. And, of course, Pudge, one of the greatest throwing catchers of all time.
Strike called on Crawford.
And not only does he have a quick move, he takes very little time getting the ball from his hand to Pudge's glove.
Tigers as a staff are pretty good in holding runners on. Rogers has a great pickoff move. Of course, Maroff had as well before he went on the DL. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carl Crawford, batting in the 2 slot these days.
I'm sure Joe Madden down in their dugout, their skipper, has informed his troops as to the move that Verlander has. He is one of the brightest men in baseball, is Joe Madden. And congratulations to him, his first tour of duty as a big league manager.
Here's a bunt attempt. It goes foul at home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're talking about that move that Verlander has. He does have a good one.
Well, the feet are what does it for him. I mean, watch the feet here. I mean, that's lightning quick for a guy that's as tall as he is, but he's so athletic with good agility.
And there you have it. He's atop the list. Kazmir is up there as well with 3, but Verlander has 5 to lead the American League. 1-2 on Carl Crawford. Loops that one foul back out of play. Well, the Devil Rays are known as a team that likes to run, but they have also hit a few home runs this year. In fact, they hit 6 in their ball game yesterday, their win against Kansas City. And Joe Madden's team has hit 79 this year. I was talking to him before the game, and he said everybody thinks all we do is run, but we can hit the ball out of the park.
Carl Crawford had 2 home runs yesterday.
Bouncing ball back to the mound, could be 2. Verlander to second one. Relay is in time. The double play. Nicely done. 1-6-3 and the twin killing, 2 gone.
Well, Carl Crawford is one of the toughest guys to double up in all of baseball, but a 1-hopper back to Verlander, and not a great feed to Infante, but Infante quick with his feet, able to redirect his body, and still able to get something on the throw back across to Chris Shelton.
Pretty nice athletic play there by Omar.
Omar can play. You know, I've always been fond of Omar.
Well, here is Jorge Cantu now. He's the number 3 hitter in their lineup, and Cantu is batting .329. He missed about 39 ball games this year with a fractured foot.
And Cantu is a nice player. I saw him out in Arizona this spring when he was playing for the WBC Mexican squad, and boy, is he a superior talent.
Well, he knocked in 117 last year as Verlander misses inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. By the way, how difficult is it to double up Crawford? Only the 2nd time he's bounced into a double play. Swung on and belted high in the air, deep into left field. Thames going back to the track, to the wall, and this ball is gone. Jorge Cantu hits his 2nd home run of the season. 2-out solo shot, and the Devil Rays take an early lead.
Well, that's one of the things that Chuck Hernandez said before the game that Verlander would have to do, especially against dangerous hitters like Jorge. Stay out of the fastball counts. 2-1. He's dialed for the fastball. Nice, easy swing. He allowed Verlander to supply all the power, and when a guy throws 95, 96, and you make that kind of contact and you get some elevation, you're going to trot around the bases.
Well, the Tigers gave up a few home runs yesterday in Toronto. Fortunately, most of them were solo shots.
Ooh, that Toronto Blue Jays team can hit.
There's a ball up high to Johnny Gomes.
Fun to watch, but I'm glad. I think them Tigers pitchers were glad they don't play them 19 times.
I would tend to agree with that.
Although they shut them down.
The 1-0 pitch. Off speed is in there for a strike. 1-1 on Gomes, and he has power. 17 long balls this year.
Remember that ball he hit off Percival last year?
I do. It's still going, I think.
That's the last pitch I think Percival threw in the big leagues. Unfortunately.
97 miles an hour on the gun there. Down low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Verlander, by the way, has just given up his team-leading 11th home run, and that's probably a byproduct of a guy that is a fastball pitcher that has good velocity. There's a strike in the outside corner, 3-2. Hey, with that home run, by the way, for Cantu, another $18,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. 800-798-CURE if you'd like to donate, or go online at prostatecancerfoundation.org. Check swing. They will appeal. He did not go, and that's ball 4. 2 walks now given up by Verlander.
And for the most part, at least against the right-handed batters, Pudge is sitting up on the outside part of the plate, which by and large is where you like to pitch right-handers, down and away. But with the kind of velocity that Verlander possesses, every now and then it ain't all bad to come inside against some of these right-handers to see if you can command that pitch.
Here is Aubrey Huff with 2 outs, and he takes down low, and Pudge has seen enough now. He's going to trot out to the mound to talk with Verlander. You see that Justin is usually lights out in the first 2 innings. It's the 3rd inning that has been a problem. But the Rays have gotten to him for a 2-out solo homer here. He has also walked a pair. And Chuck Hernandez very familiar with both starters in this one tonight. Verlander for the Tigers, and he coached Kazmir in Tampa prior to coming to Detroit. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Aubrey Huff. Is that any type of advantage at all, having a pitching coach that knows what Kazmir is all about?
Absolutely. I'm sure that he gave Don Slott the pitching report on Kazmir today. That's better than watching him on video. I mean, Chuck Hernandez knows exactly what he features. He knows what he has confidence in throwing. Absolutely an advantage for the Tigers today, knowing what Kazmir features. Plus, they beat him up pretty bad since they've seen him in his 4 starts.
Here's the one that bounces in, gets to the backstop, gets stuck behind the backstop, and going to second base is Gomes. Wild pitch.
It's a changeup, and boy, did he choke it off. He threw this one right down in the dirt. And Verlander's rushing a little bit. And I could tell on that last delivery on the changeup, everything just sped up. He's a guy that has a lot of nervous energy, and every now and then it can get out of whack, but he just needs to slow down and compose himself. That's better.
Threw 97 right by him, 3-2.
And when you get your balance on the rubber, you allow your arm to catch up. And that's when you see the velocity with the fastball. And you also see better located changeups and breaking balls with better balance on the rubber.
In the air toward left field. On the move is Thames. He is there to make the play. Side retired. So minimal damage done. Rays get a run on the home run by Cantu. Tigers nothing as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Jim Leyland's lineup card tonight looks like this. It is brought to you by the Michigan Regional Council of Carpenters and Millwrights. Granderson leads off. Then Polanco and Pudge, who hits .381 lifetime against the Devil Rays. A middle three of Ordonez, Thames, and Infante. Shelton Monroe, who's back in there tonight, but as the designated hitter, and Brandon Inge. Here are the, or is the, scouting report on Scott Kazmir.
Well, he's a power left-hander, not your typical touch and feel kind of guy. He'll come after you with a good hard fastball. He'll get in the mid-90s. He's got a nasty slider, and according to some people on their team, Mario, they call it a Steve Carlton or Ron Guidry type slider from time to time. But his last 3 starts, not good at all. 0-2 with a .922 earned run average.
A Steve Carlton, Ron Guidry type slider.
And I had to ask him twice, and they said
goodness.
it again. So when he's right with that slider, it's a nasty pitch. It's Bonderman-like.
Well, that is impressive. Here is Granderson to start things off for the Tigers. Kazmir delivers in there a strike, 0-1. Curtis at .275, 3 for 7 career against the Rays. 9 home runs this year. The 0-1 pitch. Curtis hit number 9 in the recent road trip in his hometown of Chicago, Illinois.
And Kazmir was the Devil Rays opening day starter at 22 years and 69 days. He is the youngest opening day starter since Doc Gooden back in 1986.
1-2 on Granderson to be followed by Polanco and then Pudge Rodriguez. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. The second baseman Cantu ranging left throws him out. Curtis is out of there 4-3, 1 gone. Here's the rest of the defense. Julio Lugo is the shortstop, brought to you by Rico, by the way. Lugo at short, Huff at third, Cantu and Wigginton on the right side. The outfield, Crawford, Hollins, and Norton, and the battery of Paul and Kazmir. As you look at the numbers on Scott Kazmir.
Well, making his 14th start, he comes in with a 7-4 record and 80 strikeouts against 28 walks in 77 and 2/3 innings. He can pitch. He's got some good stuff.
Here's Polanco to test him now. Placido at .281. He has not had a hit in his career against Devil Rays pitching. Perhaps he'll change that right here. Kazmir missing inside.
I remember last year when we were down in Tampa, and Kazmir's very first pitch of the game, Polanco was leading off that night. He smoked him. He threw a fastball and hit him right in the ribs.
Here's a 2-0.
That was that day that Nate Robertson went out there, and his very first couple of pitches to Crawford were behind him, and Nate got kicked out of the game before getting an out.
One pitch and Nate was on the bench, actually in the clubhouse. Actually, what was it, a couple of pitches?
Maybe a couple, but
Yeah.
he threw one right behind him, and I don't remember who the home plate umpire was that day, but Nate got tossed.
Well, Polanco is on with a 1-out walk. We'll see if the Tigers can do anything here with their number 3 hitter, Pudge Rodriguez.
We showed you a graphic that said that Kazmir has a decent pickoff move. He has 3. But teams have run on him basically at will. While he's been on the mound, there's been 12 attempts, 11 of them successful.
Pudge has faced Kazmir 8 times. He is 0 for 8
Ooh.
against him.
He's usually a Devil Ray killer.
Pudge again having a big month of June, and that's no surprise for the Tigers catcher, hitting .364 this month, and lifetime he's .331 in the month of June. I'm going to have to ask him tomorrow what he likes so much about June.
The warm weather.
Inside and high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Polanco the runner at first base. Tigers down by a run as we play in the bottom of the first. Now the 1-1 pitch. In the air, little looper to center field, going to drop in. Base hit. Polanco hits the bag. He's going to go to third. Crawford's throw is cut off. And the Tigers go first to third. They have runners at the corners with 1 out. Nice job by Placido. He read that nicely when he got to the bag.
Well, this is why a lot of pitching coaches don't like the inside fastball. You can see that ball is in on Pudge's hands, but he pulls them in very nicely. And when you do pitch inside against a good hitter like Pudge, he can still muscle the ball in the outfield. And as you mentioned, Polanco with heads-up base running needed no help from Lamont with a head-first dive, getting in there safely.
Now very quickly, the Tigers in good shape to at least tie this one up as Maglio Ordonez stands in. He swings on the first, hits a high fly ball in his shallow right field. Coming in is Norton. He'll make the catch. Polanco will have to hold. He went about halfway.
Oh, he probably could have scored on that if he could do it all over again. With Norton not being an outfielder by trade and really on his heels as he caught this ball. But Polanco made up his mind very early on that he was not going to tag up.
I think I'm with you on that one. I thought for sure Polanco would be tagging, especially with Norton, the right fielder.
Watch how he catches it on his heels. It's going to take him long to get rid of this ball, and Polanco could have had about 5 steps before he even released that ball. But that's just one of those things where you make up your mind early on what you're going to do.
Here's Marcus Thames with 2 outs.
But I'm sure Gene Lamont at third base knows the outfielder's arms much better than I do.
Thames at 308 with 12 home runs this year. Talked at the top of the telecast about how hot he has been over his last 11 games, and here are those numbers. 359, 9 RBIs, and with Craig Monroe back in the lineup tonight but not able to play defense, Thames again gets the call in left.
He's a legitimate power threat right in the middle of their batting order.
And he's ahead 2-0.
Changeup. Ooh, that's a big league pitch. It's a huge pitch. In a 2-0 count to a power hitter. Outstanding pitch.
Tigers got a 1-out walk from Polanco, then a single by Pudge. Lifted foul back out of play. 2-2 on Marcus. Well, a sign of perhaps how much respect other teams are gaining for Thames is the fact that he has 14 walks in limited playing time this year, at least until recently. He's been playing just about every day now, but they have pitched him awfully carefully, and I think it all started in that series with the New York Yankees. Jim Leyland noticed that they were taking it very carefully with him. Looks like Hall has those fingernails painted as well. We saw Posada do that when the Yankees played here. Give that pitcher a better chance of seeing those signs.
It's a bad manicure.
That's the same shade that Posada used as well. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him with the off-speed pitch, and the Tigers go down. So they had a threat going. They'll strand 2, and it's 1-0 Rays. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay in the lead tonight. And don't forget, every Friday, take a trip around the major leagues with the FSN Baseball Report. It covers every team all season long with highlights, interviews, and analysis you won't find anywhere else. FSN's Baseball Report, Friday at 6, right here on FSN. Well, Verlander walked a couple of batters in the first inning, was helped out by a 1-6-3 double play that he started, but he was also tagged for a home run. Cantu got him, and the Rays will bring a 1-0 lead to the second. It'll be Ty Wigginton to lead it off, and Greg Norton and Toby Hall. Wigginton having a fine season, 13 homers this year, and he looks at a strike 0-1. He's knocked in 44. He's played over in the National League with the New York Mets and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Verlander bouncing in a breaking ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's Verlander's 1-1. 2-1 now on Wigginton. Justin leading All-American League rookies with 7 wins. He also leads with 78 innings pitched as well for all AL rookies. So they've run him out there, and several times has gone over the 100 pitch count. In fact, early on in the season, his 3rd start of the year, he threw 121 pitches in a game at Oakland. But Chuck Hernandez and Jim Leland have kept a very close eye on pitch counts, not only with Verlander, but a lot of the other young pitchers. Swing and a miss, and a very uncomfortable looking swing there by Wigginton. 1 away.
What is this? Apparently he's not throwing his knuckle curve, because that wasn't knuckle curve grip. Apparently he's throwing a more traditional curveball today, as he did earlier in the year when he had a blister which prevented him from throwing the knuckle curve. It's great camera work.
Well, here is Greg Norton now with 1 out. Fastball is in for a strike. We have seen Verlander get up to 97, 98, but typically with his fastball he'll be around 93, 94 unless he's going for the strikeout and trying to punch somebody out of there.
He's mixing his pitches up well here in the 2nd inning. Breaking balls, change-ups, different velocities, and keeping these Devil Rays off balance. At least a couple of guys that have come to the dish in this inning.
There's the 97-mile-an-hour heater.
That could be a valuable pitch when you're changing a guy's eye level. You get him looking up in the strike zone, then you finish him off with something breaking down.
Swing and a miss, breaking ball, down he goes. It's another strikeout, his 2nd of the inning, 2nd of the game. And a stare back from Greg Norton. What was that? He's thinking.
Well, he carved him up pretty good, that's for sure. That arm angle where he throws it from, he's got those long arms, and he throws this ball almost sidearmed. And if you're Norton, you're looking way out to your right, and then all of a sudden the ball darts down into you. It's tough to gauge that pitch.
Here's Toby Hall with 2 outs. Verlander in that 1st inning threw 27 pitches. He's been much more economical here in the 2nd. 1-0 on Hall, batting .255 with 8 home runs.
There's a good fastball inside. Can't be afraid to show it in there.
(2-0). Hall, like Brandon Inge, has the ability to catch and play 3rd base. He has done both of those this year. Pops this one up, shallow right field. Here comes Ordonez. And Verlander has himself a nice and easy 1-2-3 2nd inning. We played 1.5. Infante, Shelton, and Monroe. Period tonight at 10:30 here on FSN.
Wasn't he your first pick last year?
He was my first pick, and I rode him all the way to the championship game last year in fantasy football.
Did you win the championship?
No, I got hammered, but we can move on from that. Omar Infante leads it off, and Chris Shelton and Craig Monroe facing Kazmir. Ball missing up high to Infante.
I guess you won't be taking Ben Roethlisberger this year, will you?
No. Man, did you hear that today?
I did.
That's a shame.
Yep.
Terrible accident for Roethlisberger on his motorcycle. Ball missing down low. 2-0 now on Infante.
I wrecked a mini bike when I was a youngster. I ain't been on one since.
Is that right?
I ain't been on a motorcycle since. Don't like speed.
I don't blame you. The 2-0 pitch. Right at the knees. 2-1 now on Infante.
He had a good game yesterday. And Jim Leland, boy, he set us up perfectly for our opening and all through the game as we followed Infante. He said that if Infante did something during the game yesterday, they had a real good chance to win. And boy, was he right.
That was a big game for the Tigers to win yesterday. And even though they lost the first game, to come back and grab a couple of games. And here are some of the super subs yesterday. Even Santiago had a good game.
Yep. 2 runs for Infante, an RBI, couple knocks.
That's popped up. The second baseman Cantu is there, and Infante is out.
Yeah, Jim Leland said yesterday was one of those games where, as a manager, boy, you have to push the envelope. Didn't have Ordonez. You mentioned Polanco didn't play. He had to maneuver some guys and get some guys in motion, and the guys all stepped up and did a marvelous job for the team.
Yeah, and he got a good outing from Nate Robertson as well. That always helps.
How about Zumaya?
Oh, he was kind of good yesterday, too.
Kind of.
Here is Shelton. Ball high and away, 1-0. First time that Zumaya has gone 3 innings this year.
Got his first major league save.
Chris, 12 home runs this season. Kazmir misses down low, 2-0. There he is, Joel Zumaya.
He won't pitch tonight.
Those guys always know where the cameras are. The 2-0 pitch. He is becoming an icon here in Detroit in a short amount of time. 3 innings of work yesterday with 4 strikeouts.
I know David Dombrowski won't want to hear this, boy, but you talk about $1 million arms. That's $1 million arm.
Tigers have a couple of them, actually. High, towering fly ball. Center field. Hollins going back on this one, and it finally falls into his glove. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Craig Monroe, who's back in the lineup here tonight. And earlier today, he was testing out that ankle that he twisted in Chicago.
He's not 100%. You can tell by the way he's moving and running. I mean, he is just doesn't have his normal stride, but give him some credit for getting out there. There's a lot of guys banged up right now. They needed his bat against the left-handed Kazmir. And so many times when you're less than 100%, you don't try to do a whole lot. And maybe it will relax Craig a little bit. He can get himself in some good hitters counts and generate some good bat speed and get himself a couple of knocks out of it.
Well, he's had success against Kazmir as well in his career. 3 for 7.
That's probably one reason why Jim Leland wanted to put him back in the lineup today. And they also want to find out if he can play or not. The kind of teams that they're playing against and going to Chicago and then Milwaukee, you want to find out if he's healthy or not, because you don't want to be shorthanded on your bench.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Monroe. Just missed the inside corner. Kazmir thought he had strike 3. 2-2.
Good velocity.
I remember seeing Craig in the lobby of the hotel the day after he twisted that ankle, and it just did not look good. But he got to the ballpark, got some treatment, and day by day it got a little bit better. That'll go to right center field. It is playable, and it is caught by Greg Norton. Tigers go 1, 2, 3. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the third. Hollins, Lugo, Crawford on the way. After the third, Tampa Bay leads it 1-0. And a game reset for you to get you caught up on what has happened here. Jorge Cantu can go deep. It was a solo home run with 2 outs in the first inning to make it 1-0, much to the delight of Joe Madden. But Justin Verlander has settled in now.
A couple of real good breaking balls and changing speeds, and one of those breaking balls after changing the eye level of Greg Norton. So he had some good pitch sequences in that second inning, did Verlander.
Damon Hollins leads it off, then Julio Lugo and Carl Crawford. A strike runs the count to 1-1 on Hollins. Only a couple of hits in 18 lifetime at-bats against the Tigers. With the unbalanced schedule, with interleague play, the Tigers just don't play the American League all that often. American League East all that often. The 2-1. 2-2 the count. So they play the Devil Rays in a 4-game series here.
And it's a good thing it's here because it's a hurricane warning down in Tampa.
Oh, that's right.
As it has been the last couple of years that we've been down there.
Polanco handles the ground ball and 1 away.
Hurricane Alberto is stirring in the Gulf of Mexico.
You ever had a hurricane rod?
Well, it wouldn't be much of a hurricane.
No? Wouldn't pack any punch?
No punch whatsoever.
Here's the top of the order, Julio Lugo. Tigers will go to Tampa at the end of July and the beginning of August.
Good to see Joe Madden get his first opportunity to manage at this level, Mario. I know you're very fond of him. You've known him for a number of years.
That is lifted in the air, shallow right field. Again, Ordonez will come in, and that is out number 2. Yeah, Joe is the bench coach to Mike Scioscia for a few years, and he's been in the Angels organization a long time, 20+ years, and he finally got his first big league managing assignment this year with Tampa Bay.
You know, he brought a little bit of Scioscia with him. Scioscia, one of the best managers in the game, but Madden's one of those guys the last 4 or 5 years on who's list, getting interviews every single year. Finally, he won the job in Tampa. Beat out Alan Trammell. Trammell also interviewed for that job.
Carl Crawford with 2 outs hit into a double play his first time up. Madden has kind of been on the cutting edge. He's one of those managers that relies heavily on his computer, statistical analysis. A very intelligent guy, very thoughtful guy. And remember in Anaheim, he would put up a quote of the day, every single day throughout the course of the baseball season to motivate his players, and that was as a coach. I assume he's still doing it as a manager. 1-2.
He's done just about everything in the game, from minor league manager to coordinator to first base coach, you name it. Madden's done it.
That was pitch number 50 for Justin Verlander. Keep in mind he threw 27 in that first inning. And you see the ratio not where he wants it to be. He was ready with a 1-2, but Crawford stepped out. 6 in a row retired by Verlander. Little chopper hit slowly toward first. Fair ball fielded by Shelton at the bag. Make it 7 straight. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. Bottom of the third coming up with Inge, Granderson, and Polanco. Tigers down by a run, 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Tigers fans hoping for a little bit of a comeback here tonight. They're down early in this one against a guy that has been having a very good year, albeit he's been struggling of late. Scott Kazmir, and he will face Brandon Inge to lead things off in the third. He'll be followed by Granderson and then Polanco. 13 homers now for Inge and 36 RBIs out of that 9 slot tonight. He'll take a strike. 1-1. Well, it's not like the Tigers have not gotten to Kazmir in his career. He comes in with a 1-3 lifetime record against the Tigers and an ERA of almost 7. Just foul down the third base line.
He's learning how to pitch. I think early on he was just a power fastball and didn't have a whole lot of confidence in his changeup or his slider, but we've already watched him through the very first couple of innings of this game change speeds and also work his breaking ball and fastball effectively.
And when you look at the trade that brought him to Tampa, you've got to believe that the Devil Rays really made a great trade with the Mets.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Victor Zambrano is a loss for the season for the New York Mets with either a shoulder or elbow injury.
Here's the 1-2. A little bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's how Kazmir got to the Devil Rays.
He was a high draft choice of the Mets. As tap foul again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Joe Madden talking to his pitching coach, Mike Butcher, who he also brought from Anaheim.
There is a large Angels flavor on his staff, as you might expect when managers get their opportunities. They will go with coaches they are comfortable with. That's flared back out of play. 2-2 the count stays.
Just like the Tigers staff, just about every last one of them have a Pittsburgh tie with Jim Leyland. There's Mike Butcher standing next to Joe Madden. And Mike Butcher was their minor league pitching coordinator before getting his first opportunity to be a big league pitching coach.
High towering fly ball right field coming to the corner is Norton. He's been busy tonight. He'll go just about to the warning track for out number 1.
So far, nice job by Norton. He's not an outfielder by trade. Spent a little time with the Tigers a couple of years ago.
It's his 3rd put out of the night. And he caught that shallow fly ball back in the first inning that appeared it was going to score Polanco, but Placido did not tag up on it, elected to hold at third base, and the Tigers did not score. Granderson looks at a ball down low.
Yeah, Granderson's seen some pretty good left-handers the last 4 days. Ted Lilly was just outstanding a couple of days ago. And then, of course, he's got to go up against another tough left-hander here in Kazmir. And I'm pretty sure, Mario, if Craig Monroe was healthy, Monroe would probably be out in the outfield, in center field, and Granderson may get this day off.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although Jim Leyland has showed a little bit more confidence in Curtis this year as the year has gone on to face some lefties.
He's breaking them in slow, which is the right thing to do.
Granderson 0 for 1 with a ground ball. Here comes Kazmir's 2-1 pitch.
That bat that Granderson is using must be good to him, because it's got nicks and bangs all over it. He looks like he's been using that thing for a while.
Well, with the way bats are breaking these days, I mean, you can find one that doesn't splinter.
Look at that thing. Looks like a BP bat.
Three and two. Foul back out of play. Well, the strikeouts are high for Granderson this year, but the walks are as well. He had 5 hits on the road trip, and his maturation process continues this year. But boy, the early returns this season, very encouraging on the way he's played some defense. Getting more and more comfortable out in center field, especially in his home ballpark, which at times can be a challenge to play. Although a lot of managers will say this is a fun center field to play because guys with speed out there can cover the gaps and have fun running. 420 to dead center. But a lot of real estate out there.
And not only is he performing well, but he's performing well on a team that has the best record in baseball. So there's some pressure that goes along with being their leadoff hitter.
To right center field, down a base hit. Granderson is on. It's a 1-out single for the Tigers.
That's what happens to you as a pitcher when you don't throw inside. Everything he threw to Granderson was outside, with the exception of one pitch. And Granderson was convicted that he was going to get something outside again. He gets out in front, but there's no fear of the inside pitch. Therefore, able to take a good breaking ball from Kazmir and get a base hit out of it.
A couple of pretty good at bats. Inge had an 8-pitch at bat. Likewise, Granderson. Tigers have their second hit. Here's Polanco. Strike called in the outside corner. 0-1.
Kazmir, not a big boy. Doesn't look like he weighs a whole lot either. Where's he getting that arm strength from?
Well, he's in that same mold of a guy like a Billy Wagner, who's not big but can throw hard.
Pedro Martinez.
Kazmir, just 22 years old. He's out of Houston, Texas. Won 10 ball games last year with a nice ERA of 3.77. He was quite a player in high school. In fact, he was the high school player of the year at Cypress Falls High School in Houston.
He is a little bitty fella. $170.
He threw 4 consecutive no-hitters as a junior in high school. 4 consecutive no-hitters. And you knew he had to be throwing gas in high school. I mean, he's mid-90s, so you know that in high school he was just overmatching guys.
Well, you throw 4 no-hitters in Little League. That's pretty impressive.
True.
Gosh.
Let alone high school.
Those are Jake Westbrook kind of numbers that he was putting up in high school too, who pitches for the Indians.
Off-speed pitch there, 1-2. Joe Madden was saying before the game today about Kazmir and his recent struggles that maybe he has gone to that changeup a little bit too much, and he would like to see a better selection in his pitches as far as maybe staying away from that change as much.
I could see why you could fall in love with it. He's got great arm speed, great deception with it.
Lifted foul back out of play.
But he has gotten into a little bit of a pattern on the mound today as you get a look at his first 10 starts against his last 3. And in those first 9-10 starts, he beat Roy Halladay, he beat Kurt Schilling, he beat Dontrell Willis.
In the air to right field, hit pretty well. Norton running over to make the play. And Granderson holds up.
And we're thinking this is a very nice matchup in pitching, and it is, but He's already gone up against some pretty big boys this year.
You can throw Jamie Moyer in there, although he may not be in the class as some of the guys you just mentioned, but still. Verlander has given up just the one run, the home run to Cantu, and that's it. This has been as advertising pitching-wise, or as advertised, with only 3 hits. Here's Pudge Rodriguez now with 2 outs. Granderson 4 steals in 8 attempts. Trying to get a gauge on the move of Kazmir. Little chopper hit slowly left side. The shortstop, Lugo can't handle it. He thought Huff was going to cut it off, and then Huff just kind of peeled off. And Lugo is caught thinking, what's going on here? I didn't think he'd let it through.
It's unfortunate Lugo will get this air, but Huff should have made this play. He was right there. Why not reach out and grab it? And that's exactly what Lugo was thinking. He had alligator arms. Kazmir is like, wow, now I got to face this guy.
So 2 on now with 2 outs.
Hadn't been a ruling yet. They may be contemplating giving the air to Huff.
A swing and a miss. They're going to give it to the shortstop, E6.
That's a tough air, boy. But it's the right call. But it's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't think you can give it to the third baseman.
He should get it.
Even though he messed up the play. Now will the Tigers take advantage?
They've done it quite often this year when teams have made miscues. He started Maglow off with a changeup, so that's what he wants to get him out with. It's just depending on when he decides to throw it back to Mags, and Mags knows that.
Here's the 1-1. Nice block by Hall. Granderson going nowhere. Granderson was aboard with a 1-out single. Now the 2-out air by the shortstop Lugo, making Kazmir work a little bit more, and that's one of the things that poor defense will do for you. Not only does it keep the inning going for the offense, but it forces your starting pitcher to go deeper into the pitch count. Not to mention against the Tigers' number 4 hitter. Up high. Now 3-1. There's Marcus Thames waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him, and Ordonez on front, 3-2. That's a big time pitch right there.
Well, 3 of the 5 pitches that he has thrown to Maglow have been changeups. And when you can throw a pitch and locate it there in this type of situation, you're going pretty good. And now Toby Hall and Kazmir are going to talk about this next pitch.
Tigers will have the ability to start the runners here with 2 outs in a full count. Gapper maybe by Ordonez scores a couple.
In this situation, even though 3 of the 5 pitches have been changeups, as a hitter, you still have to look for your fastball. You still have to respect Kazmir's fastball because he can get 95. If you're looking for something soft and he throws you a fastball, you got no chance at making contact.
Runners go on 3-2. Bouncing ball hit to the shortstop. Lugo goes the short way to retire the side, so the Tigers unable to take advantage of the air. We've played 3. Cantu, Gomes, and Huff. 1-0 Tampa Bay as we go to the 4th inning. It is Aflac trivia time here tonight at the ballpark. Aflac! And our Aflac trivia question: name the last World Series champion to also be the first team to reach 40 wins in the regular season. That's a pretty good question. Last World Series champ to also be the first team to get to the 40 win mark in the regular season.
How about Ryan Field here in attendance tonight?
Is that who that was?
Very own Ryan Field, yeah.
He was incognito.
He sure was.
There's some of Ryan's friends, perhaps family.
Aflac!
Oh, Duck moving pretty good today after getting off that AstroTurf. Knees a little better. Knees was barking a little bit yesterday on that Aflac.
I'm not sure, but I don't think ducks have knees. We'll have to check on that.
Well, you never let the truth get in the way of a good story, though. Well, something's moving a little bit better for the Ducks.
Here is Cantu to start things off. Cantu, Gomes, and Huff in the 4th inning. 1-0 Tampa Bay.
Chucky, do ducks have knees?
Chucky, our stage manager, says he doesn't think so. We'll have to look that up. I don't think they have knees.
What do they got? Just legs?
Just legs? Yeah, we'll look it up. They're webbed feet. That's what was hurting them. That's popped up. Foul ground. Let's see. Does Shelton have room? No. We're going to get back into the seats. Only run of the ball game, courtesy of Mr. Cantu. He got all of that one. Back in the 1st inning, it was his 2nd home run of the year.
He's one of the best young players in the game of baseball. A lot of people don't know a whole lot about him because Tampa, if they don't play well, they don't get on national TV, but this guy's legit.
Yeah, how about 9 for his last 15? Not bad at all for Cantu. And he had a big year last year, hit 28 home runs, but he missed much of the first half this year with a broken foot.
And Joe Madden said really for the first time his team is at close to full strength. They also just got Rocco Baldelli back, who has missed a lot of time the last couple of years.
Here's a 2-2. Breaking ball, and Cantu would not offer after it. 7 in a row set down by Verlander. He's got Gomes waiting on deck, then Huff. On the ground to the shortstop. Infante will throw him out. So 8 straight retired now by Verlander. Hey, following the Tigers-Cardinals interleague games on Friday, June 23rd and Saturday, June 24th, one lucky fan will win a new Chevy HHR in the Drive One Home giveaway. Plus, don't miss the awesome post-game fireworks show each night, 248-25-TIGER or DetroitTigers.com/tickets. Cards are coming in for interleague play. Here's Johnny Gomes. Gomes walked in the 1st. Did not score.
And Gomes has got some huge power. 17 home runs, and when he gets a hold of it, he can hit it a long way.
Yeah, and most of those, or many of those, have come on the road. 11 of his 17 have come away from Tropicana Field.
He just looks big and powerful.
One ball, 2 strikes. Verlander looking good after that 1st inning, in which he threw 27 pitches. Again, the breaking ball bounces in. He hadn't had good command of that breaking ball tonight. Two and two. We were talking, Rod, earlier about Verlander perhaps getting ahead of himself sometimes and speeding things up. Could the fact that he worked so quickly be part of that?
Yeah, I think that could come into play. The fact that he is a very quick worker and takes very little thought to process before he gets back on the rubber. But the whole key to it is just making sure he balances himself and then slows down in his delivery. And I'm sure once he does that, that's when we see the velocity in the fastball up at 98 miles an hour and the better breaking balls and the better changeups in the strike zone.
Well, he has walked Gomes twice now. That's his 3rd walk of the ball game. And now Aubrey Huff, who fly to left field his first time up. More of a line drive, actually. Ball up high, 1-0, and that'll prompt another visit from Pudge Rodriguez out to the mound, who may have noticed something mechanically.
You know, I played a little golf today for the first time in a long time, Mario. I played in the Hank Greenberg Memorial Golf Invitational.
How'd you do?
It's a scramble, so everybody does well in the scramble. You know how those are. But Steve Greenberg, of course, everyone knows Hank Greenberg, great Tiger. Steve Greenberg used to be my agent, and I remember when I was living in California, Steve would take me to the Beverly Hills Tennis Club, and Hank Greenberg would be playing tennis with Walter Matthau. So here I am having lunch with these two guys. I mean, these two legends.
Well, he used to hang with the high rollers.
Well, you know, somebody's got to do it.
Wow.
Somebody's got to do it.
Beverly Hills.
But you used to hear the trash talking that these guys had.
Is that right?
I mean, you could imagine Walter Matthau. And, of course, Hank Greenberg, he was quite talented and confident in himself.
Yes, he was.
I'll never, ever forget those memories.
And because of that, he has a statue here at Comerica Park.
Boy, could he hit. So anytime I get a chance to play in that event, I go right out there, no problem.
That was pretty close. Verlander showing off that quick pickoff move, and he almost got Gomes. He just got back. Way out in front of the change. 1-2.
He's throwing a lot of changeups today. And that's the one pitch. If you could command that at this level, and really not even command it, but disguise it like it's coming as a fastball, you're going to get a lot of hitters fooled and out in front. It does not have to be over the plate. There's some deception in Verlander's move because he gets in a stretch, and then he comes up about halfway, and while he's bringing himself back as a base runner, you don't think he's going to throw over until he stops, and he never really stops. Just sort of wheels his body around toward first base, and that's how he gets some of these guys picked off.
But you talked about it earlier, though, the quick feet. I mean, you don't see too many right-handed pitchers that have the lightning quick feet that he has. And it has set up 5 pickoffs already this year, and Gomes not too comfortable down there at first base.
Well, Gomes is wondering why in the world is he throwing over here while I'm here. I don't run. Well, he does.
Yeah, they got him. Pudge threw it to the other side of the bag, but a good play by Shelton to wrap around and tag him.
Poor Gomes. He's so quick. And Pudge, I mean, he didn't even come to his feet. And nice tag by Shelton. And threw it right back into where he would be sliding at, and Gomes slid right into it, and Jim Wolf all over it.
Roll to the shortstop, and Fonte has him. Just like that, the inning is over. So the Tigers with some nutty glove work. Gomes is picked off. 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning now. Here's the Aflac trivia question again. Name the last World Series champ who also is. All right. The first team to 40 wins. The answer, the 2005 Chicago White Sox. Here's Marcus Thames leading it off, and he takes a strike. 0-1.
Now, why are you fussing at the duck today?
Because the duck interrupted me. Didn't you hear him?
I did.
Okay. I don't care that his knees hurt.
No, he's better today.
Thames fouls it back out of play. We want to give you some more information on that trivia question. Since 2001. See some of the records of the teams. Of course, the Tigers at 40-23, the first to 40 wins this season. It was a rather lengthy list, so we'll go back to it. And you see the White Sox won the World Series. They won 99 games last year, and they were the first to 40 last season. So Detroit Tigers, question mark. Little flare into right field. Norton has a long run for this one. Not going to get it. It's a fair ball. Extra bases for Thames. It's a double. Marcus got a 2-base hit in Toronto on a ball that was lost by the left fielder. That one just kind of flared in there.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and Marcus has been both lucky and good. Not a bad pitch. A breaking ball at the top of the strike zone, and gets in on him a little bit. Hits it down the label and takes a big swing. And I think and Norton may have gotten fooled by the swing of Thames, but even if he wouldn't have gotten fooled, I don't think he'd have been able to catch that one.
Well, this is only Norton's 11th career game in right field. He's played out there only 4 times since the 01 season, so it's kind of uncharted territory for him out there in right.
Let's see if Infante wants to bunt Thames over to third base, or if he's going to swing him over to third base.
Swing, and it's fouled off 0-1.
But nonetheless, that's the job that he has to do, and that's one of the things the Tigers did a nice job of yesterday. They played some small ball. They had a successful hit and run. They had a sacrifice fly, which scored them the very first run of the game. And Jim Leland said that without question, if they're going to be a championship caliber team this year, they have to score runs other than via the home run ball.
The 0-1. Now he's showing bunt, pushes it down the first base line. They're going to let it roll, and it's going to go foul. Wise play there by Wigginton. I thought that ball was going to stay fair, but then it took a right turn.
Well, he took one swing at it to see if he could drive it in that direction, and then he gave himself up, and a pretty good bunt. And just a wise decision by Wigginton, because I don't think Cantu would have gotten to the bag in time to get Infante had Wigginton decided to pick it up while it was still rolling in fair territory.
Oh, 2 on Infante. Well, it's not like Kazmir has been cutting through the Tigers lineup. Tigers got a couple of runners in the first, 2 more in the third. Leadoff double here in the fourth. Check swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Infante, who popped up his only time up 0 for 1.
Well, you brought it up earlier. The Tigers not necessarily afraid of Kazmir. He comes in with some great numbers, but the Tigers have had some success against him, and I'm sure that's in the back of his mind.
Toby Hall flashing the signs. And the 1-2. Let's see. Kazmir in this ball game struck out Thames in the first inning, and that is it. His only strikeout of the game. He needed 5 to become just the 25th left-hander in modern era history to reach 300 strikeouts before he turned 23. So he's been racking them up at a high pace early on in his career. He had an 11 strikeout game earlier this year against Florida. Good pitch, and it evidently was a little bit low.
Bonderman is one of those guys that is in that company you just talked about.
Well, we told you it'd be a good matchup tonight, and the numbers say yes, it is.
It's been a pretty good at bat by Omar. Still fighting, trying to hit that ball to the right side of the infield to get Thames over to third.
3-2.
And he has laid off some nasty sliders from Kazmir. I mean, these balls are tough to lay off of. But when you're in just contact mode, you're not thinking about over swinging. You see the ball better and you track it better. Therefore, you don't swing at bad pitches, at least not yet anyway.
3-2 on Infante. Leadoff double by Thames, a bloop double to right field. Omar pops it up behind home plate and headed back to the seats. Well, the Devil Rays under Joe Madden have started the season this year with a ton of injuries. We talk about Baldelli just coming back. They've had a lot of their guys out of the lineup and just now are starting to get them back. Cantu's been injured. Lugo has been injured. Huff has been injured. Full count. Down low, ball 4. Kazmir issues the walk.
Great at bat. Outstanding at bat by Infante.
Well, you never like to see a guy fall 0-2 in a situation where he wants to move a runner up. He tried to swing, he tried to bunt, and he ends up drawing the walk.
I believe it ended up an 8-pitch at bat.
It did. And now Mike Butcher, their pitching coach, is out of the dugout.
Well, the million-dollar question now is Chris Shelton up there sacrificing?
He has just completed a little talk with Gene Lamont, the Tigers' third base coach. Shelton has not exactly been tearing the ball or the cover off the ball, so he may be bunting here. Let's see.
Well, he has the ability to do it, in my opinion, although he does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. but with his hand-eye coordination and his ability to put the ball in play by swinging, it should allow him to bunt successfully should he choose to do so. And if he does bunt, one thing he wants to do is get the ball down toward third base. You want to force the third baseman into vacating his position, which would open up third base for Marcus Thames. Huff, not anticipating a bunt.
And no sign of one either. It's hit foul back to the screen. In fact, Shelton does not have a career sacrifice bunt. 0-1 the count.
Not in his career?
Not in his career. We looked it up. It's official.
Got that from Tim Bryan, didn't you?
I did.
Our illustrious statistician.
And if Tim says it, it's true. 95% of the time.
Oh.
I'm kidding, Tim. Foul straight back, 0-2.
And now he's sitting in the same count that Infante was sitting in. Maybe he'll bounce one of these breaking balls and it'll get away from Toby Hall.
We've dug even further. Only one sac bunt in his entire minor league career. So it's just not something Shelton has done a whole lot of. And now he's down to the count 0-2. A little bit outside and low. 1-2 on Shelton. Close pitch to take.
One of the reasons why Jim Leyland may be putting the bunt on here. You've documented that he's never really done it, but Craig Monroe on that on-deck circle really hasn't played a whole lot lately.
Swing and a miss.
And Jim wanted to take a chance by allowing Shelton to drive the runners in as well instead of giving away an out in this inning. The top of the strike zone breaking ball. It's a pretty good pitch.
Huge swing by Shelton. That's the second strikeout of the ball game now for Kazmir, and a big one. Here is Monroe. He fly to right field. His only time up, 0 for 1.
Looks like he's trying to go that way today.
Well, that'll be okay. Little base hit to right field. Not get a run. Craig has responded pretty well to all the treatment he has gotten on his ankles. Still unable to play defense. He can swing it, and he drills it deep to left. It is hooking, and it is foul. One ball and one strike on Monroe, who just crushed that thing.
If he's able to stay back just a hair longer, just a hair, that would have been a big one.
The crowd is still buzzing. Joe Madden is laughing about it. Fortunately for him, it went foul. One and one on Craig. There's that play last Wednesday in which Monroe hurt the ankle in Chicago. He caught the seam of the padding out there in the wall and left, twisted it pretty good. It had to be helped off the field. Now the 1-2 pitch. Again, outstanding pitch by Kazmir, and it was close.
And Kevin Rand and Steve Carter and Doug Teeter, the trainers down in the Tigers clubhouse. They do a marvelous job keeping all these guys healthy, and there's several of them that are banged up. They're earning their money these days.
Here's a 2-2. Fouled back out of play.
There's two of them. Steve Carter on the right, Kevin Rand on the left.
Carter's phone should be ringing any moment now by somebody watching this telecast and telling him he is on the air.
He's a popular man.
Very popular. It happens many times.
They're good people. I know from time to time when we get a few sniffles, they take care of us.
There's another one fouled back out of play by Monroe, so he's battling here against Kazmir.
Kevin worked down in Florida as an assistant when David Nabrowski was down there, and when they were looking for a head trainer here, Kevin Rand was the one that Dave Dombrowski sought out and brought to the Motor City. Of course, Carter's been here a long time. They're probably talking about Craig Monroe's ankle. You can see them really dialed in and watching to see how he moves tonight.
Swing and a miss. Got him with the fastball out of the strike zone. Monroe is gone. Another big strikeout for Kazmir, his third of the night. Back-to-back strikeouts here.
Well, he has the kind of stuff that he can reach back and get a little extra. 94 on that last fastball, and that's one of the things that makes him special.
So a leadoff double, then a walk, but now 2 strikeouts, and it'll take number 9 man Brandon Inge to put the Tigers on the board. 1-0. Devil Rays lead in the 4th. He couldn't hold up. 0-1.
Well, they had a runner on third, less than 2 outs in the first inning, and they could not score him. And now, as you mentioned, it's going to take a 2-out knock to score Marcus Thames now, who's not running well. He's got a little tendonitis in his left knee.
Ground ball hit back up the middle on the backhand there. Cantu will step on the bag to retire the side. So the Tigers get a couple of men on, lead 2. Wigginton leads it off for the Devil Rays. America Park, we are on our way to the 5th inning tonight. Game 1 in this short 4-game homestand for the Tigers. Devil Rays are in town, and Tampa Bay with the lead. They got a home run in the very first inning by Jorge Cantu, and it's held up so far. Meanwhile, Verlander has settled in nicely since that first inning, and has allowed just 1 base runner since the first. He has Wigginton, Norton, and Hall here in the 5th. And it hit him. Wigginton hit by a pitch to lead things off. Got him on the hand somewhere, the arm. So the leadoff man is on for Tampa. Here it is. Like the left hand. It is.
Well,
Not Greg Norton.
He's glad it didn't hit him square. Sort of a glancing blow.
Verlander has 2 strikeouts tonight. He struck out Wigginton and Norton in the second. He's now hit a batter and he's walked 3. And while he has posted big-time strikeout numbers in the minor leagues, he has not been the big strikeout guy here in the big leagues. He has learned to pitch a little bit more. And he's behind here 2-0. Got a double play ball back in the first inning. Crawford hit one right back to the mound. The 2-0 to Norton. High fly ball left field. Easy play for Marcus Thames. And Wigginton will hold up, 1 away. That'll bring up Toby Hall, the Tampa Bay catcher. 0 for 1 tonight. Fly ball to right field. Hall's one of those guys that just doesn't strike out all that much. In fact, he's the 5th toughest guy to strike out in the American League. 1 every 14 ABs.
What's that on his chin?
Not sure. See if we can identify it for you. Some sort of beard. Here's a ground ball. Fired to second one. Relay is in time. They get the double play. 6-4-3. Second one turn tonight by the Tigers. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Time to get the bats going in a 1-0 game. Careful there, young man.
You see that little guy drinking that Mountain Dew?
Is he going to be up a while?
He got no shot at going to sleep tonight.
Here's a check swing roller to third. Tough play. Huff on the bare hand. Throws him out.
He made it look easy. Boy, and that is one of the toughest plays for a third baseman.
Well, Wigginton took his foot off that bag at first really quickly as well.
I mean, when you're coming in and then you have to grab this ball with the palm of your hand, and then you have to readjust and get it into your fingertips to get enough on the throw across the diamond and get a speedy runner in Granderson. That's a good play. I like that piece you did in the pregame show today with Granderson and Crawford. A couple of guys that can run. although Crawford is a lot faster. Granderson has some deception as far as speed is concerned, and does a nice job running the bases.
Yeah, Crawford's one of those guys you term a burner, and Granderson certainly is not, but you saw on that play that he'll put some pressure on the infield.
That's what you talked about.
And Curtis has done a good job of that. He's got a little bit of speed. And Crawford, of course, can just flat out run.
I watch you on the pregame show.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're not up here sleeping at that time? I thought you'd take your beauty nap at that time.
The John Keating show.
High fly ball right field. Easy play for Norton, who has yet another put out.
And of course, Keats does a marvelous job with that show.
What would happen to that show if either you or I had to host it one day?
Well, it probably wouldn't stay on very long. The ratings would be so bad, they just have to toss it.
It'd crash and burn. Here's Pudge Rodriguez with 2 outs.
But Keats knows how to drive that ship.
Pudge had a base hit in the first inning. He also reached on an error, so he's been on base twice. Kazmir looking for the 1-2-3 inning.
He wanted that pitch too.
One and 0. Hit hard to left, and another base hit for the red-hot Pudge Rodriguez, who had a monster day yesterday. Now 2 more hits tonight.
I mean, really, how good is he, though? I mean, we watch him in Chicago. They basically will his team to victory. Tagging up on that ball to shallow right field, getting in the scoring position. Yesterday, he had a hit and run. He had a double that cleared the bases, a 2-run home run. He threw out Gomes today on a pickoff. I mean, he is an ultimate game changer.
Here's Ordonez. That's foul back out of play. Well, all you have to do is talk to Jim Leland and get his feelings about Pudge Rodriguez. And visiting writers will often do that. And Jim said, don't get me wrong here. We've had some clashes. You know, Pudge and I have disagreed on some things, but he respects him wholeheartedly. He's very fond of his talent, obviously, but he thinks that he has picked his game up another level this year in intensity. And I would agree with that. I mean, we're seeing Pudge do some things that are really eye-catching this year, and maybe at the top of that list is that play in Chicago.
And that was a game when he really shouldn't have been playing. Jim Leland said as much. Against my better judgment, I'm going to play him tonight, but I really shouldn't.
That's low, and the count now is 1-2 on Ordonez.
If he hangs his changeup to Maglio, Maglio is going to smoke it because he has gotten into a little bit of a pitch pattern out there. Here it comes.
They want it low, and it's too low as it bounces in.
Young pitchers will do that. If you watch the game very closely, they will get into patterns on certain hitters as to how they want to get them out. And clearly they want to get Maglio out with the changeup today. 2-2, who knows what he's going to get. But I sniffed out that changeup, that last pitch. Again, there you go.
Doubled up on the changes, and that one missed high, 3-2.
But see, that's the beauty of pitching and hitting and being one step of the hitter or the pitcher, is you need to make these types of adjustments from at bat to at bat, because when you don't make those adjustments, good hitters will get you.
We've had 10 full counts in this game, 5 for Kazmir and 5 for Verlander. And although the score indicates that it has been a lights-out pitching matchup in this one, both teams have had opportunities, especially the Tigers, to get on the board here. Pudge will be on the move here with 2 outs and a 3-2 count. High pop-up. First base side, Wigginton will make the catch in fair territory to retire the side. Tigers will leave a man. Hollins, Lugo, Crawford coming up. America Park on a nice night for baseball. 1-0 Tampa Bay after 5 innings of work here tonight. Don't forget, coming up on tonight's edition of Postgame DSR, complete postgame reports from Jim Leland's press conference and locker room reaction, plus who is the Tigers' best all-around athlete. DSR postgame immediately after Tigers baseball here on FSN. It's a pretty good hint right there.
Well, he's a good athlete. I'm sure there's some other guys on that list. Pudge Rodriguez. Verlander's a good athlete. have to tune in tonight if I can speed home. A lot of good athletes. And one thing about David Dombrowski, since he's been a general manager in the big leagues, he has always wanted to surround himself around good athletic players.
Pudge Rodriguez was yelling into the Tampa dugout. Here comes Jim Leland. I don't know what's going on here. Joe Madden is out, and I don't know who Pudge was directing his comments to, but he clearly was looking into the Tampa dugout and saying something.
He's still jawing.
Doesn't look menacing at all. And the two managers talking with the home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo. Well, here we go. We're in the 6th inning. Verlander back to the hill and delivers an off-speed pitch in for a strike on Damon Hollins. It'll be Hollins, then Lugo and Crawford. Breaking ball and a dandy 0-2. Hollins 0 for 1, ground ball. Another ground ball. This one hit to third. Deep behind the bag is Inge. And Hollins is out of there, 1 gone. There's some activity now in the Tampa pen. That's Travis Harper, the right-hander. So he's warming up. Kazmir's pitch count has to be a little bit elevated, I would think, and he's approaching 198 to be exact, so there's your reason. Lugo takes a ball outside. Julio Lugo is 0 for 1 with a walk. He missed 28 games this year with a strained abdominal muscle. Had a solid year last year for the Devil Rays. Hit .295, knocked in 57.
Lugo's a pretty good fastball hitter. He's got some quick hands in a count like this. 2 balls and 1 strike. If Verlander decides to throw him a fastball, pretty good chance Lugo's going to get a pretty good swipe at it.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Make it 3-1 now on Lugo. See the 27 in the first inning by Verlander. Since then, he's been able to keep it more in check. There's a strike. Not so fast there, Lugo. 3-2. Lugo last year stole 39 bases, stepped out right as Verlander was about to deliver that pitch. Three-two pitch. Bouncing ball left side and through. It's a base hit out of the reach of Infante. Big wide turn by Lugo, almost daring Thames to make a throw on it.
Lugo is one of those guys that you mentioned early in the game that has some speed, and it's getting late in this game. I'm sure Joe Madden, their skipper, is going to give him the green light if he doesn't already have it.
Here's Crawford. Oh, and 1 on Carl Crawford. He's 0 for 2. He's already hit into a double play. When Lugo was out of the lineup earlier this year, Crawford was batting leadoff and hit only .266 from that leadoff spot. But in his more comfortable 2-hole, he is at .327.
It's tough for some guys if you don't have plate discipline to lead off.
1 ball, 1 strike. Crawford along with Verlander were they co-players of the week?
Yes, they were a couple of weeks ago.
Now the 1-1. Lifted foul back out of play. Yeah, Verlander had an 0.56 ERA. That was the May 22nd through 28th week. Crawford had a big week. So they shared that honor. And now they're facing each other. 1-2. Lugo back in standing up. There has been one pickoff in this game, but it belongs to Pudge Rodriguez. He picked off Johnny Gomes from behind the plate. That was back in the 4th. The only run in this game coming on the Cantu 2-out homer in the 1st inning, a solo shot. And so far it is held up. Bouncing ball back up the middle and through. That's a base hit. Lugo is on his way to 3rd base. He's in standing up, and now the Devil Rays have something brewing here with a couple of speedsters on the bases and one away.
That ball hit right back over the mound, and Verlander really made no attempt to make the play. It looked like he fought violently off toward the 1st base side, which left him in a position where he couldn't make the play. Let's take a look. But right back over the rubber. And you can see him on the 1st base side. And, of course, Lugo, with the speed we've talked about, able to get to 3rd without a play.
So keep an eye on Crawford now. His 21 stolen bases. 2nd in the American League. And here is Cantu, who homered his 1st time up. Verlander missing outside, 1-0.
Can he see? Got the bill of that helmet way down, right over the eyelids.
He's always worn it that way,
He
and
has.
somehow it seems to work for him.
Absolutely. He's a special young player.
Ground ball to 3rd. Tough play for Inge, but it's foul.
Also a nice decision by Inge. Had that ball been fair. Really the only play that he had. He covers a lot of ground down there.
Yeah, you've talked about his range on foul pops at 3rd base. Really, his range is all the way.
Off balance and just flips the ball to Pudge. He probably doesn't catch the baseball as well as the best 3rd baseman in the league, but his range is probably right up there in the upper tier. And getting better every day.
The Rays have only 3 hits in this ball game. The Tigers have 4, and it has been dominated by both pitchers in terms of runs, but both teams have had some opportunities. And here is another chance for Tampa with their number 3 hitter up there, but behind in the count, 1-2. High fly ball hit well into left field. On the move is Thames, still going back. It'll be deep enough to get the run in. Lugo tags at 3rd. He will score. Crawford tags at 1st. He will move up to 2nd base. Sacrifice fly for Cantu, his 2nd RBI of the night, and make it 2-0. The RBIs 13 and 14 tonight for Cantu. Almost hit that one out as well. So Crawford at 2nd now with 2 outs, and here's Johnny Gomes, the cleanup man. Gomes has been on base twice, and Verlander has treated him very carefully. He's walked him a couple of times. Gomes has some big time power. The Tigers have been a witness to that. In fact, Gomes has hit some tape measure shots. He owns the 5 longest home runs in Rays history, and albeit their history is not very deep, but still.
He has all 5 of them?
He got all 5 of them. And they're all well over 400 feet, as you might expect.
He just looks like he means ill will on the baseball while standing in the batter's box.
He was a catcher in high school, but when he got to junior college, the best player on their team was a catcher, so they moved him to the outfield. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball missed inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Had himself a nice year last year. In fact, Gomes was 3rd in the American League Rookie of the Year voting, behind Houston Street and Robinson Cano. Trying to bring in Crawford here with 2 outs. 2-2. Verlander has only 2 strikeouts tonight. Both of them came in the second. He got Wigginton and Norton. Check swing. They'll take the appeal. Nope. Be held up. Jim Wolf down at first. Full count.
Chicago White Sox playing in Texas tonight against the Rangers, and they're beating them 6-3 in the 6th inning. But stick around. That's a good hitter's park down in Arlington.
That was a 6-0 game.
Yep.
They got a long way to go in that one.
A lot of baseball left to play in the season, without question.
He fought that one off. Slow roller towards short. Infante bare hands, guns, and it's scooped by Shelton on the backhand.
Look out, Big Red.
Outstanding play on both ends to retire the side. Nicely done by Infante, and a beauty of a scoop by Big Red. Two 2-0 Devil Rays now as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and we are right back with you tomorrow. Game 2 in this series against the Devil Rays. Coverage begins at 6:30 with the Tigers pregame show. It's the Tigers and Rays tomorrow night here on FSN Detroit, followed by more coverage on DSR postgame. Back here at the ballpark, Mario and Rod, glad to have you with us here tonight, and some outstanding defense on that last play because the Devil Rays look like they might get another run.
Well, Gomes is a guy that doesn't run that fast, and I was a little surprised that Omar came in and barehanded this ball. We've seen him do it quite often, but he does it about as well as anybody. And how about the pick by Shelton? I mean, he stretched out, and that was a tough pick. Those balls that are well out in front of your body, but he made it look awfully easy, and just a nice play all the way around.
So it's a 2-0 game now as Infante does well to get that final out. Wallside windows pitching change. Travis Harper is in, and he will face Marcus Thames to lead things off.
18th time that he has been in, and he has a 2-0 record, but the earned run average is quite high, and the opponent's batting average is well over 300 as well. So the boys may have a chance today against Harper.
0-2. Thames, then Infante, and then Shelton. Marcus had a double to lead off the 4th inning, a bloop double to right field, but did not score. The 0-2 misses outside. Harper last year pitched more innings out of the Rays pen than anybody else, 73 innings out of their bullpen. Strike called, and Thames is caught looking, one away.
A pretty good location with the 89-mile-per-hour fastball. After a 2-seam fastball inside, a slow breaking ball, then a 4-seamer. And to get Thames looking.
Here's Infante. Omar, a pop up and a walk. .291 average this year now for Omar. Harper misses way high and inside.
Omar can play second base. He can play some shortstop, some third base, some center field. Although he hasn't been in the outfield this year. He's a pretty nice piece to the puzzle they have down there.
Popped up bunt. Easy play for Hall. 2 gone.
Anytime you're bunting for a base hit, you have to make sure you get the ball on the ground first. You can see Omar had too many moving parts. And then once the barrel of the bat drops, all you can do is elevate the baseball. Once he made contact with it, the barrel of the bat was going down toward the ground. And when you do that, you're going to pop it up. It's a good idea. The technique just was not as good as he would like.
Here's Shelton. Breaking ball low and away, 1-0. Chris, the fly ball and a strikeout. There's a strike. Run the count to 1-1. 2-0. Rays lead. Tigers have out hit Tampa Bay 4-3. Right off the end of the bat. 1-2. Shelton struck out on a high breaking ball from Kazmir back in the 4th inning. Took a huge swing on that pitch, and Chris still trying to bust out of the funk a little bit. 6 for his last 42. Harper misses outside. 2-2 now the count on Shelton. Jamie Walker is tuning up in the Tigers pen with his 0.95 ERA. Verlander has scattered 3 hits, given up 2 runs. That's it. Strike called on the outside corner. Shelton didn't like it. He's punched out of there. Harper comes on to strike out a pair. Huff, Wigginton, and Norton coming up. Pitcher in for the Tigers now as we go to the 7th inning. It's Jamie Walker.
Well, Jim Leyland has used him in a masterful way so far this year, and you see that as a reflection in his numbers. Earned run average under 1. A 1 walk in 19 innings with 16 strikeouts, and the opponents hitting 200 against him. Those are power pitchers numbers.
Yeah, they are actually. Jamie, though, is not a power pitcher. Verlander leads after throwing 98 pitches. So Walker is ready now, and the first pitch is a breaking ball strike in the inside corner to Aubrey Huff. Wigginton and Norton to follow. They play Huff to pull. Inge is way off the line at third base. One ball, 1 strike. Tapped right at home plate. 1-2. Huff in this one here tonight is 0 for 2. Fly ball and a ground out. He missed 21 games this year. We've talked about all the injuries the Devil Rays have had, and finally the Rays now have put all of their pieces together as far as getting all their guys healthy. Hasn't been that way for the first half of the year. Huff was out with a strained knee.
And if you're the Devil Rays with a payroll right around $40 million, you absolutely can't afford any major injuries during the course of the year. And when you're playing in the same division as the Boston Red Sox, the New York Yankees, and the Toronto Blue Jays, just really can't happen.
It's tough to hang with those payrolls and those teams.
Anyway.
Swing and a miss. Huff is gone. A strikeout for Walker.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch and how he attacks him. First pitch strikes. That's one of the reasons why Jamie's been so successful. And another thing is he really hasn't missed with his breaking balls over the heart of the plate. He really starts them right down the middle, and when it gets into the hitting zone, the hitter takes a swing and the ball is not there anymore. He's located his breaking balls much better this year against left-handed batters.
Wigginton takes the ball up high. 1-0. Hit by pitch and a strikeout, both of those at bats against the starter Verlander. Way out in front. 1-1.
Good pitch. Good changeup.
Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike on Wigginton, who crushes left-handed pitching for the most part. .333 average. 14 RBIs against left-handed pitchers. The 2-1. Rope foul down the third base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's like Rocco Baldelli has moved to the on-deck circle. There he is. There's Rocco. We haven't seen him in a while because of the torn ACL he suffered.
And a torn hamstring. Last couple of years, he hadn't played a whole lot. A lot of different injuries.
Here's the 2-2. He popped him up on the infield, hit it straight up. Pudge can't see it. Who wants it? Somebody get it. Inge can't. And it's a fair ball. Throw down to second. He is safe. Pudge Rodriguez never saw it. And he was telling his infielders that Inge just couldn't get there in time. Ooh, that's a bad break for the Tigers. Inge almost made an acrobatic play on that ball after getting there late.
I think Jamie Walker's the one that saw it all the way, but more often than not, pitchers will not catch it. Jamie was pointing right away. You can see him. He saw it. Pudge did not see it, as you mentioned, and Brandon with a spectacular effort. Just some miscommunication there. And Pudge, you can read his lips. I can't see it. I can't see it. But Walker the whole time was looking at the baseball, and he is the one guy that did see it.
They're giving Brandon Inge an error on that play. Now Baldelli with first base open is not going to get a chance to hit. So they'll put him aboard and try and set up two with Toby Hall waiting on deck.
This is the time of evening where it is a little tougher to pick up plays. We've seen some of the outfielders lose some of the balls in twilight when it's not quite dark. And that may have been one of those right there. It's tough to see the ball sometimes at this time of night, but Walker did a nice job by pointing it out, and he probably could have caught it had he known that the other guys didn't see it.
And Jim Leland now will go right back to the bullpen, so Walker will come out of the ball game, and Ramon Colon had been warming up, so more than likely he'll come in. Tough break for Walker. He got the pop-up. And there's Roman, so Colon is coming in. We'll step aside. 2-0 Tampa. Roman Colon is in. So Colon for Walker. They have two men on, Wigginton and Baldelli. And now they will face Toby Hall. Tough break for the Tigers on that pop-up. There's a pickoff throw, but not going to get the job done. That pop-up right at home plate that neither Pudge saw, and I assume Inge didn't see it. He was late in getting there.
We'll see if Colon is working down at the bottom of the strike zone. Obviously, he wants to induce Hall into hitting the ball on the ground. And if he does that and hits it at any of the infielders, it should be a tailor-made double play. He doesn't run well.
There goes the runner to third. Here comes the throw. Thank you very much.
A missed sign by somebody.
That's about as easy as it's going to get for Pudge.
And apparently the one who missed the sign is Wigginton, because Baldelli didn't take off, nor did Hall swing. But Wigginton must have thought the hit and run was on.
He never made it to third. Watch him dance on his tippy toes here. Oop. So a break there for the Tigers now. Wigginton is out of there, caught stealing.
It's a gutsy call by Joe Madden, and you can do that in the 7th inning when you're ahead by 2. But unfortunately for him, somebody missed it.
1-0 on Hall. Baldelli at first base. Swung on and belted in the air toward left field. Thames going back, gonna go to the track to make the catch. Line drive by Hall is the third out. Stretch coming up. Monroe, Inge, and Granderson. 7th inning stretch time in a 2-0 ball game. Tampa Bay in the lead, and the Devil Rays have made a couple of defensive changes. Baldelli stays in the game, and Rocco will play center field. Hollins, meanwhile, moves from center field to right field. Here's Damon Hollins with Norton out of the game. And it's time for the Tigers to kick it into gear here. They have been held scoreless through the first 6 innings. They have only 4 hits. Harper got him 1, 2, 3 in the 6th after taking over for the starter Kazmir. Craig Monroe, Brandon Inge, and Curtis Granderson here in the 7th inning. And a strike called on Monroe.
He's got some pretty good command with that fastball, does Harper. It looks like it's a ball off the plate, and he's got some late tailing action, which is allowing it to catch the corner.
Here's the 0-1. That time he caught the inside corner, 0-2. So Craig now behind in the count very quickly. Inge and then Granderson to follow here in the 7th. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. One away, and the 3rd strikeout now for the right-hander Harper. While we have a moment here, we want to pass along our condolences to the family of Edward Stefanski. Edward was a terrific Tigers fan. He passed away last week at the age of 82. Was a loyal, extremely loyal Tigers fan who would watch us every night. And our condolences to the Stefanski family for the passing of Edward this past week. One away now for Brandon Inge. Breaking ball is in there, a strike.
Joe Madden did a nice job by bringing Harper in after Kazmir. And one's left-handed, and of course Harper being right-handed. But he's thrown some nice breaking balls away from the right-handed hitters, and it just gives him a different look.
Well, you're right as well. He's had terrific control, or command, I guess is a better word. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped him up. Shallow right field. Who wants it? Cantu is back. Hollins is in. Hollins hauls it in. 2 outs. That's going to bring up the top of the order now. Curtis Granderson. Curtis 1 for 3, had a single back in the 3rd, one of the 4 Tigers hits in this game, and really that has been it, although they've a couple of times had 2 runners on. Had a leadoff double from Thames in the 4th. But each time the Rays pitching staff has been able to wiggle out of the jam. Anderson takes a strike. It looked like it was a little bit off the outside corner, but it caught the corner. A strike. 1-1. Curtis had 5 hits on the road trip. Had a nice series in Chicago against the White Sox. Continues to take his walks. On base percentage is good. Power numbers are good. Here's the 2-1. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Nice spread in the local paper yesterday on Curtis Granderson. Huge picture. Talking about his upbringing and his education and so many different things. It's a wonderful spread.
There's another walk for Granderson right on cue. So Harper had retired 5 in a row, but he gives up a walk to Granderson. And here's the tying run coming to the plate now, Placido Polanco. A walk in the 1st inning, but a pair of fly balls to right field. His other 2 times up. Talking about the differences in speed between these 2 teams. The Tigers as a club have 24 stolen bases. And meanwhile, the Devil Rays have swiped 49 already.
Crawford almost has 24 by himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got, what he's got? He's got 21.
Yeah. Jim Leland has said that that's an element that he would love to have, but right now he doesn't have it. So that's why he puts lots of runners in motion when he does have the matchup that he's looking for. I don't know for sure, but I did mention the other day that Nook Logan is starting to play in the minor leagues once again. And we may see him before it's all said and done. He's one of the fastest players in the game.
He got hurt right away at the start of the year.
First game of the year.
Fouled back out of play. Not bad 7th inning or beyond for Polanco. One ball and 2 strikes. Logan had a couple of hits last night, by the way, for Toledo. Batting .316 in 5 games. Here's a quick throw back. One and 2 on Placido Polanco. 2-0. Devil Rays lead. Game 1 in a 4-game series. First meeting of the year between these two ball clubs. Pitch out and nothing doing. Granderson going nowhere.
And Joe Madden taking a page out of Mike Scioscia's book, who he worked for as a bench coach for a number of years out west in Anaheim. Scioscia loves to pitch out too. And I'm sure Madden talked him into a few of them pitch outs while sitting next to him.
I'm sure he did. As the bench coach, that's lined. It is a fair ball. Gonna go to the corner. Here comes Granderson. He's coming to third base. They're gonna hold him there. No, now they're gonna send him home. Hollins had trouble with it in right. He will score. Polanco goes to third, and how about that? It's 2-1. And the tying run just 90 feet away. It got by Hollins in the corner down the right field line, but they were going to hold up Granderson.
Well, Hollins started the game as the center fielder and moved over to right field when Baldelli was inserted as a pinch hitter. And boy, too aggressive going over to that corner. That's a double for Polanco, and if he doesn't go as aggressively after the ball, that's just what it is. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. But initially, Gene Lamont stopped Granderson, and then he had to restart him. And Polanco, he never broke stride.
No, he knew it all the way. So now the tying run is at third base. It's a 2-1 ball game.
Well, those numbers for Polanco will increase in the 7th inning or later.
Ground ball hit to short. Right there is Lugo. He'll gun to first. And that will retire the side. A little bit of excitement for the Tigers. They get on the board. And we have played 7 now. 2-1 ball game. Tigers get on the board. It's to a 2-1 ball game now. Polanco given a double, and E was also charged on that play as we get you caught up in our game reset. Early 1-0 lead on the Cantu home run in the first inning, and then Cantu was a part of another run, a sac fly in the 6th inning to make it 2-0. Before the Tigers were able to get a run in the 7th on the double and E9. That's how it was scored. Scoring Curtis Granderson to make it 2-1. So Roman Colon working now here in the 8th inning. He is facing Hollins, then Lugo, and Crawford. Colon retired Hall on a fly ball. Wigginton was caught stealing after he came on in the 7th inning, and now in his first full inning of work. Hollins 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Damon Hollins.
Jim Leyland likes Colon better out of the bullpen versus being a starter. That may change somewhere along the line, but Jim was talking yesterday and said he just loves him out of his bullpen.
Well, it's always nice to have a power arm coming out of the pen. Of course, Amaya provides that. Rodney provides that.
You like some guys that are coming out of your bullpen that can miss the bats.
In the air to center field, Granderson backing up. He took off on him a little bit, but he's there to make the play. 1 gone.
Had some nice backspin. That's one of the toughest plays in the outfield when the ball's hit. And sometimes you don't know if it was hit where it's going to sort of have that top spin or the back spin, and that one just kept going and going and going. But Granderson's tracking them well here in spacious Comerica Park.
Here is Lugo with 1 out. Lugo 1 for 2, single walk, run scored. 4 home runs this year. Has good speed. 39 swipes last season. One and one. In the air, left field, and tagged well. Granderson and Thames going back, and this ball is gone. A home run. Julio Lugo out of the leadoff slot goes deep, and the Devil Rays once again have a 2-run lead.
Well, he doesn't look very strong. As a matter of fact, he is rather slim. But we told you his last time up. And he can hit a fastball. He's got some lightning quick hands, and when he catches it just right, he can generate some power.
So make it a 3-1 ball game now, and here is Carl Crawford. Second home run of the night for the Devil Rays. Home runs by Cantu and now Lugo. Bouncing ball hit slowly back to the mound. Easy play for Colon, and that's the second out. Right now we go to the studio. We join Cameron Wong for a preview of tonight's DSR.
All right, guys, after the final out, we're headed right back out to Comerica for a reaction from the clubhouse and skipper Jim Leland's post-game thoughts. Plus, Brandon Inge is more than just a great baseball player. We'll show you some of his talents away from the diamond. All that and plenty more, but right now, send it back to you.
All right, Cameron, thank you. 2 out now, nobody on. We're in the 8th. Here is Cantu with 2 RBIs tonight. Rays have added another. They lead 3-1. There is strike 0-1 on Cantu. .333 average now for Cantu. He was the Rays MVP last year. What a year it was for him. 117 runs driven in. And for a guy that had that type of year, really outside of Tampa, not too many fans have heard about Cantu and what type of season he had last year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Well, another home run hit against the Tigers, but yet another solo home run. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Colon asking for the appeal, but nobody's paying attention to him, so he won't get it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It has cooled down here at the ballpark. The temperature down to 62 now. A little bit of a breeze blowing. High fly ball, right field, tagged well. Ordonez going back to the wall to haul it in. And that will retire the side. So the Lugo home run lengthens the lead. Ordonez, Thames, and Infante coming up. 3-1 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Devil Rays have added 1 more in the home run by Lugo, so some more ground to make up now for the Tigers. It'll be Ordonez to lead it off, then Thames and Infante. Mags 0 for 3 in this one. Fly ball, pop up, ground ball. And a breaking ball from Harper misses outside. Harper came on in the 6th inning, then pitched through the 7th. Here's the 1-1. Hit hard and through. It's a base hit. He goes the other way. Leadoff single for Maglio. By the way, with that home run hit by Lugo in the top half of the 8th inning, another $18,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can call 800-798-CURE or go online at prostatecancerfoundation.org. Here comes Joe Madden now. It appears that is going to be it for Mr. Harper. Marcus Thames due up next. And the signal has been made to the bullpen. So Harper gives up the leadoff hit. He'll depart the scene. And the Devil Rays go to the pen here in a 2-run game. So we'll step aside as we take a break. And remind you the score 3-1 Tampa. Back in a moment. 3-1 ball game as we play in the bottom of the 8th. Tigers have the leadoff man on. Here's our Comerica game summary. Justin Verlander started in this one, went 6 innings, allowing just 2 earned runs. Scott Kazmir 5 innings, did not allow a run, struck out 3. Cantu and Lugo with home runs. Another good night for Pudge, and the Tigers 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. So some missed opportunities tonight. We have a new pitcher now for Tampa Bay, and it's Sean Camp.
The numbers are pretty good. He has got 7 holds, and no question he'll be in to try to do that for Joe Madden's Devil Rays.
Here's Marcus Thames. Camp last year in the Kansas City Royals organization, split time between the big club in KC and their AAA club in Omaha.
They will try to stay away from Marcus. They know he's got some dangerous pop on the inside part of the plate, and you can see they want it low.
1-1. Thames now has hit safely in 5 in a row, courtesy of a double in the 4th inning. It was a leadoff double. The Tigers eventually would strand. Here's the 1-1. Outside and low. 2 balls and 1 strike on Thames. Devil Rays have committed 2 errors tonight. One of them led to a Tigers run on the double by Polanco in the 7th. It was misplayed by Hollins, the right fielder. Foul tipped at home plate. 2-2 on Marcus. Kazmir started, then Harper, and now Camp here in the 8th. Only 4 hits tonight for the Devil Rays, but 2 of them have left the building. 2 solo shots. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Thames is out of there. First out of the inning, and a big strikeout for Camp.
Well, appeared to be a good 2-seam fastball that was out of the strike zone. It had some late life to it, but it's a ball that he threw from a sidearm angle, and it was off the plate and outside.
Here's Infante now. Marcus upset with himself. He is 1 for 4 tonight, but has 3 strikeouts. Omar's been on base once. He has a walk. Infante getting the call tonight at short. Guillen getting the night off. One ball to no strikes. A little bit outside. 2-0 now. The bullpen for the Devil Rays has an ERA of over 5. In fact, it's 5.61. And the Tigers trying to get to that bullpen here in the 8th inning. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball hit slowly back toward the mound. Only 1 play, and he'll sling it over to first for the out. Infante is gone. Advanced the runner Ordonez. Nice play by Camp. He got rid of that thing in a hurry. 2 gone now. That'll bring up Chris Shelton. Meanwhile, Hall is out there to have a chat with him. Home plate umpire Tony Randazzo is out there to break it up quickly.
Well, just in case they're having any thoughts of pitching around Chris Shelton because they thought Monroe was hitting behind him. Not so. Carlos Guillen has grabbed a bat.
So Guillen moves on deck. And here is Shelton now 0 for 3 with a couple of punch outs tonight. Tigers have a man in scoring position with 2 outs, down by 2, and a strike called on Shelton. There's Ordonez. He led the inning off with a single. Camp has been used a lot. He's pitched in 30 games. There's a ball missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Only Texas's Francisco Cordero has made more appearances in the American League. They have leaned on Camp quite a bit this year. Now the 1-1. Make it 1-2 on Shelton. No, Rodis, it looked like Shelton's swing is a little bit long right now. He took another healthy cut.
It's big. I mean, it's that front shoulder is really flying off the baseball. I mean, when he decides to swing, I mean, it's more of an upper body swing and not the timing that he had earlier in the year where he kept that front shoulder locked and loaded. It appears that he's trying to do a little bit too much.
Here's the 1-2. Didn't chase that one. 2-2.
He only has 2 home runs in his last 130 at bats, and when you get off to the kind of start that he got off to with the kind of power that he was hitting for, he's probably aware of that fact and probably trying to do a little bit too much.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Shelton fans for the 3rd time tonight. Camp does the job. Gomes, Huff, and Wigginton in the 9th. Here we go to the 9th inning now at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Game 1 in this 4-game series, 4-game homestand for the Tigers. They trail by 2, 3-1. And there is a new pitcher on for the Tigers. Fernando Rodney is in.
Well, Rodney was a little out of whack the last time he took the mound over in Toronto when the Blue Jays scored 8 runs in that 8th inning to steal a victory away from the Tigers. And he had to go back to the drawing board with the pitching coach, Chuck Hernandez. And let's see if he's able to keep that front shoulder closed tonight, because that was a problem. He was not able to drive that front shoulder toward home plate. Therefore, he was erratic in the strike zone.
Johnny Gomes, first man to face him. Little roller toward third. Inge with a good play and another scoop down there by Shelton.
Boy, did he get rid of that quickly. He took very little time getting that from the glove to the throwing hand and then getting it on its way to first base. I mean, that's no time whatsoever. And for the 2nd time today, Shelton with a nifty pick.
Nice job on both ends. Shelton with the glove and Inge with the throw. 1 pitch, 1 away. Huff hits a ground ball to second. On the backhand there is Infante, or Polanco rather, and he throws him out. And 2 pitches, 2 outs. Ball looked like it was headed up the middle, and Placido got to it on the backhand. Here's Ty Wigginton now with 2 gone. 0 for 2 hit by a pitch. Swing and a miss.
It's not usual that you will see a guy swing at a pitch after the first 2 guys in the lineup have made outs on first pitches, but Wigginton was swinging. He was looking to hit a home run right there. Most pitchers lay that ball right down the middle because, I mean, it's almost an unwritten rule that the next guy is going to take.
Yeah, very rarely do you see a 3-pitch inning. But Wigginton was having none of that. He took a rip. Here's the 1-1. Didn't hold up on that one. 1-2. Well, Rodney would love a nice quick 1-2-3 inning here to get himself back on track.
Looks like he has made that adjustment of driving that left shoulder, that front shoulder, and right back toward Pudge Rodriguez, which allows him to get on top of the baseball. And that's when he gets better movement.
Line drive caught by the second baseman Polanco. 1-2-3 they go. Tigers last chance coming up. Monroe, Inge, and Granderson. Last call for the Tigers. It is 3-1 Tampa as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. You are looking at the light banks, and they have gone out. Two separate banks have gone out here. The outfield lights have turned the ballpark dark right now, and the umpires will meet with both Jim Leyland and Joe Madden to talk about what's going to happen next. But it is very dark in the outfield. Is it too dark to continue this game until they get the lights fixed? I don't know, but it is kind of shady out there in the outfield. Here's a look at what it looks like out there in the outfield grass. The Devil Rays are out on the field. They have their pitcher warming up as if this game will continue, but Joe Madden and Jim Leyland now will chat with the entire umpiring crew to see what they want to do. They went out as soon as the top of the ninth ended, and I'm sure they are busily working to try and get them back on, obviously, but right now they have lost the outfield lights. It appears that every other bank of lights are fine. Those are the two lights out in right field. And the rest of them are on. Now, is it enough light to continue this ball game? I think that's what they're trying to decide right here. Concerned about his hitters right now. Will they be able to see as clearly as they would with all of the lights working? It appears we're going to try and get this thing through the bottom of the ninth inning. So we will continue play here, and Tyler Walker is in to try and close this one down for Tampa Bay. They have a new third baseman as well as Tomas Perez. And the Tigers will have a pinch hitter. Carlos Guillen will bat for Craig Monroe. So we're going to try and get this done without any outfield lights here. Tigers down by 2. And both sides have agreed they can continue this ball game here, but as you can tell, it's still dark, a little bit dark in that outfield. Is it too dark? Don't know. We'll find out momentarily here if anything's hit to the outfield in the air. So Walker is ready. And so is Guillen to pinch hit. He shows bunt, pulls it back and takes low. 1-0. Tigers have 6 hits, only 4 for the Devil Rays, but it's Tampa with the lead.
Guillen was the designated hitter yesterday afternoon in Toronto. And of course did not start in this game, and Jim Leyland said that he just doesn't like the way that Guillen's been moving around. He thinks he's being bothered by some tendonitis in his left knee, and even though Guillen's saying he's okay, and Jim Leyland's going to try to rest him as much as possible.
And now it's 3-0 on Guillen. Tigers need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Brandon Inge waiting on deck. Walker was acquired by the Rays in late April from San Francisco. And he delivers a strike. 3-1.
Guillen's only had 1 at bat this year as a pinch hitter. He's 0 for 1.
Three-one pitch. He missed it down low. Ball 4. Leadoff man is on. So Walker comes in and really performs the no-no for the guy trying to close out a game in a 2-run lead. Walks the leadoff man. Here is Inge now. Tying run coming to the plate. Walker leads the Devil Rays with 10 saves this year. Inge looks at a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. First meeting between these two. Brandon 0 for 3 in this ball game. 1 ball and 1 strike. The SR post game coming up after the conclusion of this one here tonight. Tigers trying to rally in the bottom of the ninth. They're down by 2. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball left side, base hit. Inge is aboard. Guillen goes to second. The time runs around. And the top of the order is due up, and here comes Joe Madden trotting out to the mound. Leadoff walk in a pinch hitting role to Guillen, and Inge singles to left.
Well, apparently the hitters can see the walk that Guillen so patiently took. And then Brandon found a hole between short and third. And now Joe Madden talking about a possible bunting situation as to just how they may play this should the Tigers choose to sacrifice in this situation. And you'll see a lot of managers do that. They won't send the pitching coach out there to relay what they want to happen. They'll send the message themselves. And Tomas Perez at third base is pretty much anticipating that that's what Granderson's going to do.
Granderson base hit into right field.
I love it.
Here comes Guillen rounding third. He will score. Inge on his way to third base. It's an RBI single for Curtis Granderson in a bunting situation. Leland turned the tables on him.
That's why Leland's big league. I mean, absolutely big league. They just assumed that he was going to be bunting. And Wigginton almost got his chops taken off. Oh, my goodness. That's a big league play. That is a huge play.
The winning run is now on for the Tigers. The tying run is at third. That's Inge.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this cat was bunting.
Granderson,
then again, you never know.
Gets his 30th RBI of the season. Here is Polanco. Infield coming in. Still nobody out. And here comes the crowd.
They're going to play that infield back. I was getting ready to say, up the middle, they got to go for 2.
Oh, look who's got the gum going right now. It is indeed gum time for Nate Robertson. Oh, here's the throw back, and back in there is Granderson.
Boy, I think Walker was just anticipating that he could not throw that ball over there and get Granderson, because most guys don't fall for this. Had he just come up and thrown over there, he'd have got him. You ever seen that play work?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen it work, actually. That time it almost did. Boy, the crowd for really the first time tonight has gotten into this ball game. More than 16,000 fans here tonight. And now time called, and Toby Hall is out to the mound to have a talk with Walker. Uh-oh, it's spreading now. Zach Miner and Bonderman has even joined the party. Let's see if it works. Here's Polanco. Little tapper hit slowly to the right side. No play at the plate. No play at first. Everybody is safe, and we are tied. Wigginton thought about coming home, and that cost him.
Polanco couldn't have bunted this ball any better had he chosen to sacrifice. And Cantu, running from second base, was playing double play depth. If Wigginton picks it up and tries to get it to Cantu, he doesn't get him, and Brandon was hustling all the way.
And the Gum Brigade is fired up. Now there are 2 on with nobody out. Winning run is at second base. And you've got the man you want right now, Pudge Rodriguez. Keep chomping down there, fellas. Pudge, a couple of hits tonight. He's showing bunt, and he pops it up foul.
You can't drop the bat head on the bunt. Once you get it out there, you've got to leave it out there. Once you drop that bat head, you're prone to popping up. It was a gamble by Jim Leland, allowing Granderson to really somehow open up this inning.
Here's the 0-1. And again, not good technique by Pudge, and now he's down to the count 0-2. 2 hits tonight, both singles. Nobody out. Leadoff walk to the pinch hitter Guillen. A single by Inge, a base hit by Granderson. When the Rays were expecting bunt, that scored a run. Polanco's infield hit tied it up. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He chased, and Pudge is down on 3 pitches. 1 away. And now Maglio Ordonez. Mags 1 for 4 tonight, singled back in the 8th. High fastball, and Mags lays off.
So if you're Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, you can't be too happy about that last pitch from Walker. They're looking for a ground ball, and that ball was elevated, and Maglio, that's something he can get into the outfield, which is what he wants to do.
Line drive right field, and it is caught, and falling down is Hollins. Granderson tags, and he'll move to third. And with the lights out in the outfield, that almost cost the game for the Devil Rays.
I think it was the lights above third base that were in his eyes, though.
So Granderson will go to third. Boy, Ordonez smoked that ball out to right field, and you see Hollins having all kinds of trouble. Granderson alertly tagged up and moved up. And they're still chewing down there. Now with 2 outs, winning run is at third base, and here is Marcus Thames. Breaking ball and a dandy in the outside corner, 0-1. Thames 1 for 4. Doubled in the 4th inning. Granderson is the winning run. Marcus trying to end it. Swing and a miss. And now 0-2. Boy, the inability to get the bunt down with nobody out, runners at first and second. Pudge tried twice and then got an 0-2 hole and then struck out on a fastball out of the strike zone.
Yeah, the game would be over on that ball that Maglio just hit.
Thames buckles out of the way as Hall wanted the letter high fastball, got it a little bit 2 up and 2 in.
Well, after the elevated fastball, if you're Thames, because they've gotten you out away all day long, you have to at least be thinking away from you, and that's where they're going.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes. So the Tigers will have to settle for a tie here in the 9th inning. They scored 2 runs to knot it up. We go to the 10th. 3-3. A comeback for the Tigers tonight. They scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and they have tied it up. 3-3 ball game, and now Rodney will take the hill as we go to the 10th.
Rodney looked pretty good out there pitching in the top half of the 9th inning, attacking the strike zone, and And Tigers will need a win if they want to stay a game and a half ahead of the Chicago White Sox. They've won their game tonight.
Well, it's going to be Baldelli, Hall, and Hollins here in the 10th inning. Baldelli came on as a pinch hitter back in the 7th, was walked intentionally. And it's grounded foul behind home plate. No balls and 1 strike on Rocco Baldelli.
And Rocco Baldelli hitting .438, albeit in limited playing time. And boy, it's tough to come back and produce the way he's produced early on after missing so much time the last 2 years.
Well, he was on track to open the season with the Devil Rays, and then he suffered a hamstring problem. It was about halfway through spring training. And that set him back. Torn ACL was the major injury. Ground ball to third. Inge has it there. So 4 in a row set down by Fernando Rodney.
It's only Baldelli's 5th game.
One gone. Here's Toby Hall now. Toby 0 for 3. In fact, 3 of the 4 outs that Rodney has recorded are on the ground. This is going to be a pop-up, though. Pudge and Inge. Inge says back off, and he makes the catch.
It's a nice job by Brandon. Easier play for him. Nice job calling him off, even though Pudge had initially called him. And Pudge saw this one, and he's calling it right now. And then Brandon says, "You get out of here." I'll take it.
Nice play by Inge. 2 outs. Here is Hollins. Boy, this is nice to see from Rodney. Carved him up very quickly in the 9th. Has gotten 2 quick outs here in the 10th.
Really, since that blow up in the 8th inning in Toronto a couple of days ago, the bullpen's been stellar once again. They've got some huge outs since that blow up.
Well, I don't think all of us or any of us thought that that bullpen would continue to go through the entire season without having a little bit of a dry spell. As good as the bullpen is, that one little hiccup in Toronto, they've been able to get over that. The 2-0 to Hollins is a ball that just missed outside. 3-0. Only 4 hits all night for Tampa Bay, and 2 of them have been home runs. One by that guy right there, Lugo, waiting on deck. 3-1. In fact, the last 7 Devil Rays have gone in order after the Lugo homer back in the 8th. It's fouled back out of play. 3-2 now on Damon Hollins. Former Brave, former Dodger. Three and 2. Full 3-2 pitch is outside. He lost it. Missed with a changeup. Coach wanted the fastball. Rodney wanted the changeup, and he just missed with it. So it's a 2-out walk. Go ahead runner is on now for Tampa, and that'll bring up Lugo. Big night tonight for Lugo. He's walked, he's singled, he's homered, he has scored twice. And he's batting here now with a man on, 2 gone in the 10th. Tigers tied up with 2 in the bottom of the 9th. Rodney made that bluff move. Hollins wasn't going anywhere, so he had to step on. Fastball high and away. 1-0 the count. Tigers have 9 hits tonight. 9-4 they've out hit the Devil Rays.
Yeah, they didn't get many early. They've come late.
Lugo has hit safely now in 18 of his last 21. After missing a lot of time early, he has really swung the bat. Well, the good news is the lights have come back on here in the outfield, so all the outfielders can see clearly now. The light banks out in left and right were out, and they are back on. Inge guarding the line down at third base, so there is a bit of a hole to the left side of the infield if Lugo can find it, but they don't want to give up a double here to allow that run to score. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Lugo.
One of the best changeups in all of baseball does Rodney possess. An outstanding pitch.
Now Fernando trying to nail this one down here and get to the bottom of the 10th. Fernando's got the hair flowing tonight.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to get it rebraided sometime tomorrow. Probably couldn't get an appointment today to hook up with his beautician. That's funny. That's true.
It is for a man, but I guess it is true.
And most barbershops are closed on Mondays.
1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Crawford waiting on deck. He would be next. Lugo has a little pop in his bat, as we witnessed in the 8th inning with his home run. He has 5 home runs this year.
Got some muscles too. Tight shirt he got on.
Fernando trying to keep the runner close at first base. Hollins, he reached on a 2-out walk. A couple of steals this year for Damon Hollins. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Rodney strikes him out. His first of the night. Let's go to the bottom of the 10th. Infante, Shelton, Guillen. Bottom of the 10th inning, the Tigers 3 and the Devil Rays 3. The Rally Caps were working tonight in the 9th inning. We'll see what they can do here in the 10th. It'll be Infante, Shelton, and Guillen as the Tigers try and win it in the bottom of the 10th inning after tying it up with a couple of runs in the 9th. And a strike called on Omar Infante to start things off.
Tampa Devil Rays pitching staff, where they really stay away from the hitters. All of them. Very seldom do they pitch inside.
There's another one outside and low. If you stay away, you've got all that space out there in right center field. You want to pitch to that part of the ballpark.
Well, a lot of guys don't have the power to hit the ball out in that direction, and that's the reason why so many pitching coaches are fond of the good fastball located well at the knees on the outside part of the plate.
That's up high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, but every now and then you have to show inside at least. As we get a look at Mike Butcher, Tampa's pitching coach. Because if you don't, he may throw Infante a good breaking ball or changeup away here, and he may flip it to the outfield because he's got no fear of the inside pitch.
Popped him up in the air to shallow right field. The second baseman Cantu is back, and he holds on to it 1 away. That'll bring up Chris Shelton.
maybe Big Red will take this first pitch fastball if he gets one and take a good rip at it. Shelton so often likes to take the very first pitch, and I'm sure Tampa knows that because it's been well documented. Maybe he's an aggressive here.
Shelton 0 for 4. And he got a breaking ball on pitch number 1, and it was outside 1-0.
It looked like he was in hitter mode too, and good enough to lay off because he didn't get the pitch he was looking for.
It's foul down the first base line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shelton has struck out his last 3 at bats. 0 for 4 total tonight. He'll need a new bat. After that infield single by Polanco tied the game at 3, the Tigers had a golden opportunity. Runners at first and second, nobody out, but they could do no more than tie the game. And since then, Walker has retired 4 in a row. Fletcher's unable to bunt the runners up, and Walker was able to wiggle out of it by allowing just the 2 runs. High pop-up foul back out of play. Shelton got the fastball there, but bangs it back into the seats. 1-2. Chicago beat Texas tonight 8-3, so they have already won. And for the time being, a game back behind the Tigers. He fooled him and got him looking for strike 3, the 4th strikeout of the night for Shelton. This one is looking.
Wow. So unlike him, but you can tell that he's going through it, just not feeling all that confident and comfortable. Baseball is a humbling game, without question.
2 outs. That'll bring up Carlos Guillen. He started the whole thing in the 9th inning with a pinch hit walk. And wouldn't it be nice to see him end it here with a long ball? 7 homers this year, hitting .293. They play him to pull on the infield. And missing high and away. Walker has run the count to 2-0.
The Tigers would like to win this game soon. Cologne has already pitched. Walker has pitched. Rodney has pitched 2 innings. Zumaya not available tonight. They've got Grilly. And they've got Jones in their bullpen. And Bobby C.
Took a rip on 2-0 and fouled it back 2-1. Rays.
The Tigers don't have a day off until June 22nd. Pretty good stretch right now, playing every day.
There's Jonesy trying to keep warm out there in the bullpen tonight. Two-one pitch. Hit high in the air, deep into right field. Gonna hook though, and it's gonna go foul. He took a shot at that pole down the right field line.
Yeah, the 22nd of June is their next day off. 3 here, 3 in Chicago, and 3 in Milwaukee. For Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Houston, Pittsburgh. All National League squads. It's a lot of interleague play.
Round 2, the final round of interleague play coming up. 2-2 on Guillen. Some good teams, man. You're talking about Houston and St. Louis over in the National League, even though they're without Pujols.
Have you been to every stadium yet? Which ones have you not been to?
I have not been to the New Busch, of course. Haven't been to Houston. I'm looking forward to that one.
It's a nice yard, Minute Maid.
Someday. And looking forward to going to Pittsburgh.
I don't even think it's called Minute Maid anymore, is it? You wouldn't know by now. I mean, nowadays, they change names every couple years.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I think it still is Minute Maid.
I guess so.
It was Enron, but
yeah,
they quickly had to change that.
Yeah, real quick.
That just didn't fit anymore. 2-2 on Guillen. Checked the swing, but he went around, I think. No, he did not.
Nice sail job by Toby Hall. All the infielders by the Devil Rays had taken 3-4 steps off the field, and for them to think that it was that close, we'll see if they were right. And it's a great job by Guillen of getting it back, and that could have went either way.
Joe Madden can't believe it. He's a little disgusted right now. Ed Rapuano down at third base. Made that call. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He went around that time for strike 3. Tigers go 1-2-3. We're headed to the 11th inning. Crawford, Cantu, and go. 11th inning now. 3-3 ball game. The Tigers bullpen has had to work overtime tonight, and their bullpen did an outstanding job yesterday.
And this is the reason why Zumaya is not available today, is because he pitched 3 scoreless innings yesterday, and he hit 102 miles an hour. And he didn't just go through the bottom third of their batting order. Rios and Hillenbrand, Vernon Wells, they couldn't touch him. His stuff was simply amazing yesterday. Amazing.
Comcast high-speed pitch, 102 for Zumaya yesterday. Now Rodney back to work, and a base hit into center field to lead off the 11th inning. Carl Crawford is on.
Well, now the game of cat and mouse will start between Jim Leland and Joe Madden once again, with the speedy Crawford on first base.
That's going to be it for Rodney. Here comes Jim Leland. Actually, is anybody warming up for the Tigers?
I didn't see anybody warming up.
Maybe not, so I take it back.
This may be the same type of situation that presented itself for the Tampa Devil Rays in the bottom half of the 9th inning when the Tigers scored a couple of runs. They want to talk about simply how they're going to play this. And Jim Leland also knows that Rodney's attention may be divided between Crawford, who's one of the fastest players in the game, and the hitter standing in the batter's box, and Jorge Cantu. And you just can't do that because Cantu's a dangerous hitter.
Cantu does not have any sacrifices this year either. And Carl Crawford, 21 stolen bases, second most in the American League this year, but for a couple of seasons he led the AL in steals. 59 in 04, 55 in 03. So we'll see what the Devil Rays want to do here with the leadoff single.
Well, Inge is not anticipating a bunt. He's a couple of steps in back of that third base bag.
Changeup is in for a strike, 0-1. Cantu has 2 RBIs tonight, home run, sac fly. Go ahead run at first base. Carl Crawford with outstanding speed. He's been caught only 5 times this year. Swing and a miss. Now it's 0-2 on Cantu. Cantu now with 14 RBIs after missing much of the first half. There's a throw back to the bag, and Crawford was about 2 steps off the bag. Rodney came on in the 9th inning, got him 1-2-3. In the 10th, he gave up a 2-out walk, but then he struck out Lugo, and now he's working for his 3rd inning here in the 11th. Down low, nice block by Pudge, especially with the speedy Crawford down there. If that ball even goes 3 or 4 feet to his side, Crawford would have been off and running.
Well, he called for the changeup, so he has to anticipate that ball is going to be in the dirt. And that's what you're able to do on breaking balls and changeups. You anticipate that you're going to have to block it. That way you don't get caught off guard.
One and 2 on Jorge Cantu. Crawford leaning a little bit, and Rodney bluffing a little bit as he steps off. There are the stolen base leaders. Only Corey Patterson of Baltimore has stolen more. 27 for Corey Patterson.
When did he start hitting? Because he wasn't hitting early.
Apparently he has recently, and he's piled up the stolen bases as well.
And when we were in Baltimore, he was hitting the buckets and change.
Cantu just got a piece of it to stay alive.
Last time I checked, you can't steal first.
No, I don't believe that's in the rule book.
Good for him, though. He was a good prospect in the Cubs organization.
That hit by Crawford, just the 5th of the night as we play in the 11th inning. Only 5 hits all night long for the Devil Rays.
And Crawford having a conversation with George Hendricks. Another one that Joe Madden was able to bring over from Anaheim. As a manager, every now and then you get a chance to bring a couple of guys with you. His first year as Tampa Devil Rays first base coach. What a great guy.
He's a very quiet guy, but one of the funnier guys you're going to meet.
Oh, he's a good man.
That stealth comedy where you don't expect it to come.
He was a good player,
sudden,
too.
Boom.
He was a good player, too.
1-2. And again, Cantu hanging tough.
He may want to change the eye level here of Cantu. Just about everything has been that changeup that's down. And yes, it's a great pitch, but if a hitter starts to look for it, every now and then they can put it in play even though you hit your location. So change his eye level one time. Throw him a high fastball. Maybe he'll swing at it. And they ain't going to mess around. They're going right to the bread and butter.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. See you later. Cantu is out on strikes. Second of the night for Fernando.
Shows you how much I know. And that's one of the reasons why it's just such a great pitch. I'm sure Cantu was looking for it. And even when you look for it, you can't hit it.
So Rodney now will face the power hitting Johnny Gomes, who has gone deep 17 times this year. He hit 2 homers yesterday in their win over Kansas City. Crawford, with all his speed, has been anchored at first base. Ground ball hit to third. Inge has it. Fires to second. One. Here comes the relay. Hey, it's a double play.
Inge is some kind of athletic.
5-4-3 to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 11th. Tigers 3, Devil Rays 3. On the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the 11th inning in a 3-3 ball game. And the Rays have made another pitching change. They'll go right back to the bullpen. Brian Meadows is in now.
The well-traveled Brian Meadows. He's been with a lot of teams in his very young career. 18th time he's been on now for Tampa. 1-0 with an earned run average over 5, and the opponents are hitting .355 against him. He's got good control, though. Just 4 base on balls in 23 1/3 innings, so he's going to be around the plate. And Brandon's got some room to bunt down at third base should he be thinking about doing something like that. We've seen him do it on occasion. And it's probably in the back of his mind. He can go in any direction he wants to go in.
Inge, Granderson, and then Polanco. Meadows was originally drafted by the Marlins in 1994. Set a rookie club record with 11 wins in his first year. High fly ball, right field, hit pretty well, but it'll stay in. Hollins. Round number 1.
That was in Kane County, wasn't it?
Actually, that was with the Florida club in '98.
Kane County. No, minor league.
As a rookie with Florida in '98, he led the club with 11 wins.
I coached him in the minor. Well, I didn't coach him. He was a pitcher, of course, but he was one of the pitchers on the team where I was a hitting coach in Kane County. That was a nice place to coach. Boy, they took care of you there.
Here's Granderson. Down the middle of strike, 0-1.
you ever broadcast in the Midwest League?
You know what? I did 4 years, and I did the first ever game in Kane County.
In Kane County?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, it's a nice place.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't done. The ballpark wasn't done when we got there. They had no scoreboard. We played the game anyway. It's awfully tough to call a game.
Who needs a scoreboard?
Yeah, the broadcaster for one.
I'm sure you were all over it though.
1 ball, 1 strike. You are right though. Nice place. And the minor league ballparks now are all a whole lot different than they were, I'm sure, when you played.
Yeah, there's some nice ones now.
Uh-oh, has Gomez joined the Gum Brigade down there?
Well,
he has.
Yeah, we've created a monster, boy. Golly.
He's got a big old mouthful.
He does. He might go pinch run, young man. You better get some of that. Don't choke now.
He's working it hard. The 1-2. Lifted in the air toward left. On the run is Crawford. Still coming. Dives. Can't get it. Granderson going to second base. Crawford almost made a highlight reel catch. It's a double for Curtis Granderson, and the winning run is on.
There's probably only 1 or 2 guys that can even get close to this ball. It's slicing away from him, but Crawford's got that world-class speed, and boy, what an excellent dive and
hit him in the glove.
Effort. Look at Gomez. He ready to choke.
It's working.
They're having some fun down there. It's good to see.
14th double of the year for Granderson, and now Polanco will face Weathers. Winning run is on. And a ball high, 1-0.
If you're Joe Madden, this is the last guy in the Tigers lineup that you wanted to see. They've got some other guys that are dangerous without question, Pudge and Ordonez and some of the other guys, but Polanco is a good contact hitter and almost assured of putting this ball in play hard somewhere.
Now 2-0 on Placido. A 1-out double for Curtis Granderson. Pudge waiting on deck. Here's the 2-0. Fly ball, right field, hit well. Holland's back, still going back to the wall to make the catch. Granderson will tag up, and he will go to third. Polanco put a charge into that one, and he hit it to the wall.
Well, he hit it hard. He just couldn't find a hole.
Now the winning run is at third with 2 outs for Pudge Rodriguez.
And you know that Pudge wants to win this game after not being able to get the bunt down in the bottom half of the 9th inning with runners on first and second, and Maglio flew out to right field the very next batter, which would have ended the game. But with that being said, he needs to calm down and make sure he gets a good pitch to hit and not try to do too much here.
Joe Madden on the top step of the dugout. He has been there most of the game. He's directing traffic right now defensively.
We told you that Brian Meadows is around the plate all the time and not overpowering by any stretch of the imagination.
Pudge trying to win it, checks his swing. Yes, he went around down at first base. Jim Wilf said it's a strike.
It's a good call. We have seen Pudge on occasion look like that on a first pitch breaking ball, and to regroup and make the pitcher get the ball inside to him or stay back long enough to hit the ball through the hole on the right side. You saw him spanking his back leg as to tell himself, stay back.
Meadows has 1 wild pitch this year. Ground ball hit slowly towards short. Lugo gobbles it up. His throw in the dirt, but it's scooped up by Wigginton on a terrific play to close out the Tiger threat. Perez, Wigginton, and Baldelli in the 12th. 12th inning now. It is a 3-3 ball game. The Tigers able to tie it up in the bottom of the 9th inning after a leadoff pinch hit walk by Guillen. Brandon Inge came through with a base hit. That put runners at first and second. Granderson in a bunt situation, single to right field, scoring Guillen. That made it 3-2. And then an infield hit off the bat of Placido Polanco scored Inge. That made it 3-3. And the Tigers have a new pitcher now. Todd Jones is on as we go to the 12th.
24th time he's been on, and 17 saves in 20 chances this year. Earned run average a lot higher than Todd would like it to be. But I guess the bottom line is he does have 17 saves.
And he will face Huff, Wigginton, and Baldelli here in the 12th. Actually, Perez, I beg your pardon. Perez, who came on for the third baseman, Huff. And he swings on the first and loops it into right field. That's a base hit. Sounded like he broke his back. And Perez has a leadoff single. So the go-ahead run is on now for Tampa. They got a leadoff single in the 11th inning. That was Crawford, but failed to advance him. Now Wigginton will see if bunt is part of the strategy here. No sacrifices this year for Wigginton. Inge is maybe a step behind the bag, not looking for the bunt, and he doesn't offer. Six hits on the ball game now for Tampa Bay. The Tigers have 10 hits. Neither team has scored since the Tigers got 2 in the 9th. Broken bat roller towards second base, might be 2. Polanco will only get 1. Wasn't hit all that hard.
Good slide by Perez. And Infante wisely getting out of the way. And Polanco wisely getting the force play, which keeps Perez out of scoring position. He went in there hard, boy. Good hard play, though. As long as you can touch the base with your hand, it's a clean play.
Here's Baldelli. Rocco has had 2 at-bats in this one. Walked intentionally as a pinch hitter. That was back in the 7th. He grounded out in the 10th.
When you work at the bottom of the strike zone, as Jones did there, you give yourself a chance to get the ground ball and double play, although Baldelli once ran real well. I don't know if he still runs as well. It's been a while since he's played.
Yeah, he had blinding speed out there in center field, but that torn ACL, I'm sure, has taken something out of him. Hamstring problems as well. Think about all that speed they had in their outfield with Baldelli and Crawford. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jones pitching in a tie game here in the 12th after Fernando Rodney went 3 scoreless innings, allowing a single and a walk, and he struck out 2. Down low again. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Bonus baseball tonight, Mario.
Got that right. All courtesy of the 2-run 9th inning the Tigers put together.
Well, I mean, give a lot of credit to Granderson because he put the ball in play and almost took Wiggins' head off, but Jim Leland put it on.
Fly ball hit high in the air, deep into left field. Thames going back. So is Granderson, who makes the catch. Meanwhile, hustling back is Wigginton. He had to hurry to get back. He thought that ball might either be out of here or up the gap.
He almost got caught sleeping, did Wigginton. It's a good call by Joe Madden. Yeah, but Wigginton running all the way, and he can see where the ball's at, but obviously he's underestimating the speed of the outfielders. And of course, once you go past the bag, you have to retouch second base going back toward first. And Polanco alertly fired the ball to Shelton, and they almost got him.
He had to motor back there. Nice play by Curtis. So 2 gone. And Toby Hall bats. One for 2 career against Jones with a strikeout. He's hitless tonight, 0 for 4. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Broke his bat. Little roller towards short. Infante's throw is in time to retire the side. So we'll go to the bottom of the 12th inning. Ordonez, Thames, and Infante coming up. Bonus baseball tonight as we go to the bottom of the 12th in a 3-3 ball game. Don't forget, coming up after the telecast tonight, DSR post game. All the coverage from this one, including Jim Leland's press conference.
And Cameron Wong standing by in the studio. And with Angie Mintic.
They are ready and waiting, and we'll see if we can go to them here after the Tigers win in the bottom of the 12th. Maglio Ordonez leads it off, then Marcus Thames, and then Omar Infante. Devil Rays pitching tonight has struck out 12 Tigers. Tigers have racked up quite a few strikeouts throughout the course of the year. Here is Ordonez to lead it off. Mags takes a rip on the first pitch and fouls it back 0-1.
They struck out 12 times a couple of days ago on Saturday against Ted Lilly as well, left-hander from Toronto. Lilly was exceptional that day, but he lost.
How do you strike out 12 and lose?
A 3-run home run and a 2-run home run.
Good answer. The 0-1 pitch. Make it 0-2 on Ordonez. Maglio tonight 1 for 4. I'll take it back, 1 for 5. Shelton's joined the parade now. It's starting to spread.
You got the whole squad down there.
Why not? Wilson.
You got to be kidding me.
And they're not just putting a little bit in there.
That's got a big one. The big wads.
I mean, they're taking a whole pack and shoveling it in. Ball missing down low. That was close. 2-2 on Ordonez.
Well, when they sign them big endorsement checks, I hope they give us some of the royalties.
Yeah, you keep wishing on that.
Huh?
You keep wishing. Yeah,
For sure.
I wonder if Jim Leland will ever get caught up in that. Wouldn't that be a sight? 2-2 on Ordonez.
As long as they're having fun, it's the name of the game.
Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I cannot remember the last time a Devil Rays pitcher threw a pitch on the inside part of the plate. But it's working, so what do you say? What do you do?
Fly ball hit well into right field. Holland's going back. He's going to go to the wall and make the catch.
That ball ain't flying
No.
real well tonight.
Not at all.
It's kind of damp and it's kind of chilly. And you're playing in Yellowstone anyway, so it's tough to hit it out of here. And he didn't have a great swing at that, sort of one-handed. When Maglio really gets his backside into one, he can find the seats in that direction.
Is that close? Here's Marcus Thames. Breaking ball outside and low, 1-0.
And Marcus has had a rough night. One of the roughest he's had this year. But that would all go away. And for a single, a double, triple, anything, just get on base.
Line drive, base hit. You got your wish.
That'll make you feel better, for sure.
Just get on base, and he does with his second hit tonight.
You know we live in a what have you done for me lately society.
Now we'll get a pinch runner. Gomez going to come in for Thames.
I told you earlier, if you weren't with us, that Marcus is battling a little bit of tendonitis in his left knee, and I was talking to him before the game, and he just didn't really feel that good. But he went out there and he competed and he played. In the grand scheme of things, that's what Jim Leland's looking for. Some gamers. Craig Monroe also went out there less than 100% today.
So the winning run is on now. Gomez pinch running for Thames. Infante is hitless. He has a walk tonight.
Jim Leland knows that Meadows is a guy that's always around the plate. Always around the plate. And he may do something here.
Ground ball hit left side, deep in the hole. There is Lugo, fires to second, and they get the force.
Lugo's got some range, and a nice play by Cantu. And the second baseman stretching out toward Cantu from that shortstop position like a first baseman. And watch the second baseman Cantu here. And to make sure he got that ball in his glove as soon as possible. Nice play.
Two outs. Infante, the runner at first base now. He represents the winning run. Omar hasn't run a whole lot this year, only one stolen base. Shelton is 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts tonight, but a chance to win it. And he popped it up. Right side of the infield. Cantu is back to the grass to retire the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the 13th. The top of the 13th inning now. Tampa Bay and the Tigers all tied at 3. Every Friday, take a trip around the major leagues with the FSN Baseball Report. It covers every team all season long with highlights, interviews, and analysis you won't find anywhere else. FSN's Baseball Report, Friday at 6 here on FSN. Here come the Devil Rays now as we go to the 13th inning. Number 9 hitter Damon Hollins leads it off. Alexis Gomez stays in the game, and he'll play left. Hollins facing Jones now, who is starting his second inning of work. Rodney had to go 3 tonight. They've used Walker. And now Jones working his second inning. They've used Colon as well. The 0-2. Missed it up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Jim Leland still has Ramon Santiago on his bench along with Vance Wilson as far as the position players are concerned. And Bobby C. and Jason Grilli are in his bullpen.
Just off the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. Ground ball to short. Routine there for Infante, who throws him out. 1 away. Top of the order now, Julio Lugo. Lugo a couple of hits tonight, including a solo home run. It came in the 8th inning that made it 3-1 before the Tigers tied it up in the bottom of the 9th. Fastball up high, 1-0. Lugo also has a single, a walk. He has scored twice tonight. In the air, and hit well to right field, but Ordonez has room, and there are 2 gone.
Lugo's got some pop in his bat.
That'll bring up Carl Crawford. We have seen some balls die in the outfield, though. We saw that long fly ball by Baldelli in the 12th just die out there in the gap in left center.
Yeah, it's hard enough to hit it out here anyway, but on a cool night, when the wind not necessarily blowing out, you really have to jump on one to get it out of here. Earlier, it was a little easier.
1-0 on Crawford.
You got to make him put it in play. No free passes for Crawford. Jones has got a nice cut fastball going today. He's got some late life with it. He's already sawed off a couple of bats.
They broke 2 of them in the 12th. Fouled back out of play. 1-2 now on Carl Crawford.
Looks like a lot of the hitters on both sides are really trying to end the game with one swing. Lots of big swings by a lot of the guys going through the dish.
1-2. In the air to center. Granderson on the move, still coming. He's going to make the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Todd Jones. 2 scoreless out of the pen. 3-3 game as we go to the bottom of the 13th, and once upon a time the 2 starters were dealing tonight.
Well, 2 of your better young prospects from a pitching standpoint in all of baseball, and Scott Kazmir and Justin Verlander, locked up early in this one, and both of them were good. Yeah, they didn't throw as many strikes as they would have liked to, and both had pitch counts close to 100 in 5+ and 6 innings, but nonetheless, kept both of their teams in the game, and in both the Tigers now have a chance to win this game.
So Meadows is out there for his 3rd inning tonight. Guillen, Inge, and Granderson. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carlos.
And Guillen came on late, and now is going to the plate for his 3rd time in this game. He got to go into the 9th inning with a very good eye. Worked a walk.
Ground ball back to the mound. Easy play for Meadows. Underhand toss for the out.
Now Meadows, we told you, is going to throw a lot of strikes. And he's got some decent command. He throws the ball where he wants to, not overpowering, but just throwing a lot of strikes.
Now Brandon Inge 1 for 5, but that one was a huge one, a single in the 9th inning. Tigers strung together 3 consecutive hits in that 9th as they were able to tie it up. 2-run bottom of the 9th inning. First meeting ever between these 2. Big swing by Inge on a pitch up at his letters. 0-1. I think you're right, Rod. We're seeing a lot of that here late in the game. A lot of big swings trying to end this game with 1 swing of the bat on both sides, really.
Yep. It appears the guy's a little tired out there.
The 0-1. Breaking ball and a good one. It's a strike. 0-2. Ground ball to the shortstop. Lugo gobbles it up, throws high, and he threw it away. Inge going to try and get to second. Here comes the throw. He's in there. A throwing error by the shortstop, Lugo.
That's the break you were looking for. Ball took a little bit of a tricky hop on it, but that's what happened when you don't move your feet. His feet do not move. He stopped his feet and then therefore could not get on top of the ball and elevated and threw the ball almost in the dugout. That's why they teach you to keep your feet moving. You glove it. You get your momentum carrying you back toward first base, which allows you to get on top of the baseball. He just grabbed it and airmailed it.
And again, the winning run is at second base for the Tigers. 1 out. Granderson fouls it back out of play. 0-1.
Now they have to end it here because I only have 13 innings in my scorebook.
Oh, well, okay.
How many you have?
13.
Well, there you have it.
Everybody only has 13 up here, so this will be it, folks. Tigers will win right here. Granderson has been on base in his last 3 at-bats. Walk, single, double. And he's behind in the count. 0-2.
Their outfield is playing very shallow, of course. On a base hit, they want to have a chance to throw out Brandon at home plate. And the flip side of that is if Granderson gets a hold of one and doesn't necessarily leave the ballpark, they're going to have a difficult time of running it down.
0-2 on Granderson. And on the appeal, they say he did not go.
Apparently, Brian Meadows has got a pretty good breaking ball tonight because we've seen several Tigers hitters check their swing. Either they're over aggressive and trying to do too much, or he has that much tilt on his slider.
2 for 15 today for the Tigers with men in scoring position. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball foul. Granderson has had some at bats tonight in which he has made the pitcher work. And more now you see things that you like out of your leadoff guy, taking walks, making the pitcher work, going deep into counts. Even though before this year he has never really been a full-time leadoff man. He's trying to deliver Inge with the game's winning run. And it's up high and away, 2-2.
And if you're Inge, you want to make sure that you get a real good secondary lead from second base. And with that being said, keep in mind that Toby Hall behind the plate may try to throw behind you. But you have to make sure your secondary lead is aggressive.
Back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Here comes Inge. Baldelli's spot of the play is earmailed. He scores, and the Tigers win in the 13th inning.
I told you we couldn't go no more.
Curtis Granderson with a game-winning hit tonight. His 4th hit of the game, and he is mobbed by his teammates. Have a night, Curtis. Our Chevy player of the game. Inge was coming all the way. And the throw from Baldelli sailed away from Hall, and Brandon Inge scores the game-winning run, and here comes the bench. They scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th. They win it in the bottom of the 13th inning on Curtis Granderson's 4th hit of the game. And tonight with 2 home runs, a total of $36,000 has been raised in our game for prostate cancer research. To make a donation, call 800-798-CURE or go online to prostatecancerfoundation.org. Tigers won it tonight in 13, 4-3. Right now, we go to the FSN studios. We join Angie Mentink and Cameron Wong for the Busch Light DSR postgame.
All right, guys, thanks. Yes, even we were chewing the gum to get that rally going. All right, guys, we'll get back out to you in just a bit.
And we should hear from Curtis Granderson in just a second. The Tigers post-game edition of the DS and extra inning games. Let's send it right back out to Comerica Park. Shireen Sasky has tracked down Curtis Granderson. Shireen?
Thanks, Angie. Well, Curtis Granderson had a great night tonight. 4 hits. You saved the best for last. The game winner in the bottom of the 13th. Congratulations. What a crazy game it was.
Definitely, you know, to be behind, we came out kind of lackadaisical. Definitely didn't have the energy that Leland wanted from us from the start, but somehow just kind of woke up as the game kept going on.
What was the difference? Where did that spark come from throughout the game?
I think just us realizing that, you know, something's not out of whack. You know, this isn't what we're normally used to doing. The situation should definitely be different, and finally, as a team, we came together and started putting some pressure on them.
It looked like you guys were about to win it in the bottom of the 9th. You came back to tie it, 2 runners on with nobody out. It didn't happen there. How difficult was it then thinking, oh, are we going to pull this one out?
I think it was difficult knowing, you know, okay, what's going to happen now? You know, we just made a run, or they're going to make a run. But at the same time, you know, we had confidence now because in the early part of the game, Casimir was definitely doing his job. He was keeping us off balance, and then now all of a sudden the momentum had shifted to us. So we started staying positive.
Is this one of those games you wondered, are we ever going to finish this one off?
Definitely, you know, especially for first day back from a long road trip, you know, we definitely wanted to get in, get out of here so we can go ahead and start getting a little bit of rest and enjoy this homestand. But now we got a little bit longer here, so still going to be a little fatigued.
Well, you certainly gave the home crowd something to celebrate as you return here to Comerica Park.
Definitely, especially the ones that ended up staying around for the whole thing. I heard a couple chants. I had to feed my dog, so hopefully they get a chance to get home to them.
Well, hopefully you get to them soon. 7 at-bats tonight. Do you like a game like that where you really get a chance to make something happen at the plate?
Yes and no. When positive stuff happens, it's definitely a good thing when you go ahead and get a lot of chances at bat. So definitely enjoyed it today.
All right, Curtis, thanks a lot. Enjoy the victory tonight.